Singapore. It's been a long 2 years, but we are back. I'm your host, Korea Chang, and I'm here at the Sands Expo and Convention Center at Marina Bay Sands. And I'm excited to bring you here at the Sands Expo and World Center at Marina Bay Sands. And I'm excited to bring you here at the Sands World Center at Marina Bay Sands. And I'm excited to bring you here at the Sands World Center at Marina Bay Sands. Bring you the game today and bring together all the best players from around the world to compete for the top prize today. Now, we did face a lot of hurdles from around the world to compete for the top prize. Has made it all now. We did face hundreds of teams competing in the Pro League to compete for the top prize. Has made it all now. To the final, 12 teams from 11 regions competing for the lion's share of the final, 12 US dollars and the chance to be crowned world champion of the share of the final. Now, you're gonna see today who's gonna have the most world champion and who is gonna lead the battleground victorious. You're gonna see today who's gonna have the most world champion and who is gonna lead the battleground victorious. You're gonna see today who's gonna have the most world champion and who is gonna lead the battleground victorious. You're gonna see today who's
Time to level up and pay attention. Only the best can win, and I got a vision. I'm gonna be everything you said.
Today is the day where we will only crown one team as the winner, and only one team will go back home with that trophy right at the back. Of course, the Free Fire World Series 2021 Singapore is proudly brought to you by ROG. Thanks to ROG with their phone and their headsets, as they are our official gaming gear of Free Fire World Series 2021.
Yeah, and those are both great phones, and we're lucky to have them. All of the players right now are using both of the phones and the headsets right now. So while they're right behind us, they actually can't hear us.
Ah, yes, because everything is just so good. The way that they're playing, because for what I know, right, ROG phone is like the best gaming phone there is, and you can pretty much play it at massive amount of hertz. I can't exactly remember exactly what, because it's so much. There's so much that my eyes can't even like know if it's 90, 140, 120, because that's just so clear. Everything is just like it's like real life.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great one there, and we're lucky to have them as a sponsor here, and then we're going into the grand finals. We're going to crown a winner for $2 million in terms of the prize pool.
Ooh.
And there's going to be 12 teams going at it, and I'm looking forward to this tournament. What are your thoughts on at least the seeded teams here?
Well, we have a lot of promising teams after all. Let us just run through and run down who are the ones that will be playing tonight. Starting off, we are going to be looking at Fluxo, Team 8, GigFam, Burst the Sky, Evil's Divine, Silence, Phoenix Force, VIP Esports, Goddess, First Raiders, Loud, and finally, HQ Esports.
Yeah, and those bottom three First Raiders, Loud, HQ Esports, they had to earn their way to get in here. They're getting top 3 of the play-ins, and now they're going to be facing an even bigger task of facing the final seeded teams. And I feel like this is like an end boss, raid boss.
It is.
Every team is loaded. This is going to be a crazy tournament.
This is gonna be tough for all of them. They have went through the tough play-ins whereby they have to fight all of the other players within the play-ins, all 6 teams, and they came up right on top, and they have to now fight the big bosses of the FFWS 2021. And just looking at their logos, man oh man, are they all intimidating.
Yeah, they're all intimidating except for the Loud one. I think it looks more like a play sign more than anything else. But here is the prize pool. This is what we're talking about. First place is going to bring home $500,000. Second place, $250,000, and so forth. But you definitely want to be in the top 2 because you're making the money here. But you're not going to go home empty-handed. We're going to send you a parting gift of at least $60,000, seeing as that you made it to the finals today.
Can you imagine? First place, $500,000, and USD at that. That is a lot. And all in all, in order to get yourself striving all the way up top to be the first place, you, well, have got to get yourself in the first place match individually. Because once you get yourself first place in each matches, you are going to be going back with a total of 12 points for being first place, 9 points from second, and followed by 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Do note, that if you're ranked 11 and 12, you would not get any placement points.
And tiebreaker rules, very important in Free Fire. We just saw, at least in the LBFF, that's the Brazilian league, we saw Fluxor and Loud, they actually ended up tying, and it came down to the number of booyahs, and so that's what, that was the tiebreaker for them, and Fluxor was number 1 because of that, and they're in because of that.
Well, and now, of course, how the maps are going to be played. Match number 1 is going to be on to Bermuda. Match number 2 on to Kalahari. Match number 3 on to Purgatory. And finally, the cycle continues. At match 4 to match 6, we'll be looking at Bermuda, Kalahari, and Purgatory once again.
Yeah, and so all of those maps have stayed the same in terms of size, of course, right? But from the play-ins where we had 9 teams, and now we've got 12 teams, teams really need to adjust because there's not going to be as much real estate, and they're going to have to fight probably a little bit earlier, and it's just going to be fireworks from the first minute on.
Yep. Here's where things start to get a little bit different, right? Because league stage, play-in stage, and playoff stage, they are all extremely different. At least for the league stages, you have time to kind of just wander around, kind of understand how the opponents play. But when it comes to the play-ins, especially for the day before yesterday, we have only 9 teams. So you can pretty much be sure that 2 teams that will clash together.
Which are those teams?
I have no idea. Loud is definitely not going to be one of them.
Well,
maybe.
That said, let's talk about unexpected teams. Like in terms of at least this grand finals, who was an unexpected team, at least in your perspective?
HQ Esports.
Okay,
that is definitely coming out of absolutely nowhere, because starting from match number 1 is the time where we kind of take a look at all the teams and like, this is promising, this is promising, this is promising. Like DEA, we had our eyes out for DEA, but in the end they just got completely flushed out by HQ Esports, despite the 7th place that they got themselves in match number 1, and then they just really getting themselves to climb every single game at match 2, 3, and 4. 4th place, like they came out from absolutely nowhere.
And okay, to DEA's credit, okay, let's just do the quick point system, right? First Raiders had 79, they were clear favorites. Loud had 75, those are top 2. Let's put those aside, right? The next 3 were in contention at that last match, right? Which is going to be HQ Esports, DEA, and Singularity. HQ Esports and DEA actually had 58 points apiece. It came down to the tiebreakers, all the kills, and that's why you see HQ Esports and DEA going home.
HQ Esports, well, they have been marking every single one of the opponents in the last match, match number 6. They killed people. They went all around. They went downtown, man. And that is the Esports, well, they have been marking every single one of the opponents in the last match, match number 6. They killed people. They went all around. They went downtown, man. And that is the reason why they are out there, prepared and ready to rock and roll.
Okay, well, let's talk about tournament winner. What is your, in terms of prediction, right? Obviously, we don't know who's going to win.
We don't know,
But who do you like going in?
Well, I'm just going to say this. Russia teams, Zamaro is definitely one.
Kami menjuarai MCP Season 1 dan layak untuk mewakili Malaysia dalam Free Fire World Series Final.
Hola, soy Narucho, representante de Team Ace, campeón de Latinoamérica y próximo campeón mundial.
Eram pessoas que me assistiam, meus fãs e tudo mais, e hoje tá brilhando junto comigo. Quem sabe você aí também não segue o fluxo. Tamo junto.
مثل ما تعرفون نحن ممثلين السيرفر العربي.
Bom, o que eu tenho a dizer sobre a Loud é que todos nós formamos uma família muito boa.
Mình là HQ Fan KM, đội trưởng của team HQ Esports và là đại diện của Việt Nam tại giải đấu FF WS 2021.
Halo, namaku Evan Darkol. Aku kapten dari tim First Raider, perwakilan dari Indonesia.
We have heard from the teams, we have heard of the players. You guys have also heard of my favorite team, or rather the team that I predicted to go up on top. But we have yet to hear from you.
Well, I'm kind of, until the Brazilians team loses a World Series, I mean, they were Corinthians 2019, they won that World Series, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while there's only technically, like, Nobru, who was part of that team, you're going to have to know his name because he's on the new team now with Flexo, which is #1 team in Brasilia, right? And so, Nobru is a guy who's made, what, $67,000 in terms of prize money, right, in Free Fire, right?
Yep.
That's more than 7 different teams' total earnings, okay? Not combined, of course, but each of the individual teams, right?
Right.
So he's made it quite a bunch of bank, right? So he's just a massive player, somebody you need to respect. But before I do that and go talk more about that, because we will be hearing his name more, let's go into game 1.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are in, of course. This is going to one in Bermuda, the Verifier World Series Singapore 2021. Looking at the playing path and looking at everything else, it does seem like we do have a lot of players. It's just going to be jumping right in the center of Bermuda, and this is going to be pretty darn scary as First Raiders jumped right on top of Geek Fam right in the Bimasari strip.
Yeah, it's a good start for them. I mean, we're going to see Loud in their traditional spot in the northwest spot. It seems like every single time they're going to do this. But as I say that, it looks like Geek Fam and First Raiders, they're going at it already.
And of course, it does seem like the Samurai Sword has made its way into the guts of Geek Fam's Zack. with one of their members down. This is going to be left with Hazik, Appease, and Shoyu to make their way right out of the Bimasati Strip. Our first raiders that came all the way in from the plains, they got themselves the first blood, and of course that is eliminating one of their core rivals, GigFam from Malaysia.
Oh, that's a massive one, especially in the first minute of the game. This is like going into a fight and you losing like your left arm kind of thing. Now you're kind of have to deal with what you can do. 3 people, not a great situation. So this pretty much means for GeekFam that they need to play super defensive, make sure they don't take any unnecessary fights because they need to survive. Maybe they can look to third party at a later time.
I don't think that most of them have too much weapons on them. They shouldn't have too much weapons, ammo, or any kinds of utility. So they have to watch out. Whatever that they're doing, they need to run far, far away, especially since Darkhole, he is on a hunt. Right around on the electrical tower, Darkhole runs right into the face of Appease, drops down the time turner. He also drops down the glue wall. I'm not too sure if whether Appease can even hold this ground for long. But one thing's for sure is that Darkhole, he understands that he's in a precarious positioning and he would want to get himself into the car and run away. In the meantime, Zeke finds himself in the middle of the action. He tries to get a shot down on the opponent, but unfortunately, he's just going to be receiving quite a bit amount of damage. But unfortunately for Zuza as well as Darkhole, both of them being knocked down. It is going to be a face-to-face battle. Umbak as well as Joker. How is things supposed to be working out for now? Appease all alone as Zeke and Shoyu is also knocked down. 1v2 though, and GeekFam has been eliminated right off the bat before the first circle has even emerged.
This is the biggest difference between the play-ins and the grand finals. Play-ins, you only had 9 teams. It was very spread out. You definitely had some room to maneuver around. In this one with 12 teams, there's really no room to move. It's either you have to run away, you try to pick up a utility elsewhere, but then you're conceding ground. GeekFam was at a huge disadvantage to start off, and then the entire team was wiped out.
All eyes in the southern side of the island here. In Sentosa. So in the very moment, the VIP esports circle is way down to the southern side of the island. We do observe quite a bit of a team that's actually in the northern side. So we're looking at HQ Esports, we're looking at Loud, Evolve Divine. We also have one member coming in from BDS. The way that they're moving is most likely they're going to be moving down south right into Bimasati Strip, and that is going to bump them right on top of First Raiders. First Raiders should know that they are way too close into the center of the map. So the thing that they should do is get themselves a little bit closer to the center of the circle.
Yeah, and they got to do that. But if you're looking at 3 teams, they're being very greedy, right? I mean, it's the first circle. You don't need to panic too much, but they are a ways away. Silence is way up in the north. Loud is up next, and Evo's kind of a little bit closer. It's going to be very difficult for them to try to make their way to the circle, especially since First Raiders are kind of in that top area, and they could look to maybe do a little pincer maneuver later.
You know,
Three teams, they're being very greedy, right? I mean, it's the first circle. You don't need to panic too much, but they are a ways away. Silence is way up in the north. Loud is up next, and Evo's kind of a little bit closer. It's going to be very difficult for them to try to make their way to the circle, especially since First Raiders are kind of in that top area, and they could look to maybe do a little little pincer maneuver later.
You know, we'll talk the very likely of Loud as they, well, bump themselves from buildings to buildings.
Right, and Skyrox and DD, both of them just ziplined in very close, and they're going to know that all of the loot has been gone. Loud has already like looted everything, and they're making their way around, but they're going to be completely surrounded right now, and Silence are in
together. At this moment in time, we do have First Raiders. They're still holding themselves up right inside of the big building, and this doesn't seem like things are going to be looking well for them. While Silence, they do have a little bit of eyes on to Loud, as Loud Keon gets himself one onto Sam, and this is not the fight that I was expecting. I was expecting that Loud is the one that's going down instead of Evolve Divine. How is things going to unfold as we look at Khan slowly jumping down the building?
Yeah, Will got picked off from Loud. Sammy got picked off from Evos as well. So I mean, they're not coming home unscathed. They did get some damage there, but I mean, this is a pretty big skirmish in the south right now. And you know, Phoenix are there, Phoenix Fire, HQ Esports, First Raiders, all within the vicinity. Not to mention LGDS and PTS right now are looking to zipline right into Phoenix Fire.
And just like that, even though we do have the time turner being popped right up, we've got another time turner coming from corners as he jumps himself, launches himself away. Skyrix gets himself the elimination right down on Noda. This is looking to be bad as Kronos is going to be the last man remaining. We saw him catapulting himself right into the air, so at least he will be okay. Nestled down in the southern part of Catalystowa, no one will find him. The only thing that he gotta do now is to play safe, play things slow. Don't engage with the opponents, go for the placements.
Yeah, and Loud here, completely different from the play-ins, understanding that with more pressure, more aggressive, I mean, there's just more teams, right? So they're going to jump on you. Last time in the play-ins, they had all day. You didn't really see these guys until like 10 minutes into the game. This time, they're getting picked off, and Kronos right now, last survivor, he just wants to save for points.
And for now, VIP Esports all the way in the bottom side. Down south, we are looking at them still coming in close with Team Ace. I'm surprised these two have not come into, well, any deep action just yet. I think that either one of them decided to play things slow. They definitely saw the opponents, but they do not want to get themselves into any action. They just want to hold their ground, see how things are going to be like, and then slowly make their way into the center of the circle, because they don't really need to force this fight unless they are 100% certain or they are 100% confirmed that they have a better position. And at this point of time, VIP Esports, they definitely have got a better position as compared to Team Ace as they take the fight from the high ground. Grenades being tossed over and over, lobbed it all in. Ninja received a bulk of damage as his HP is down to a critical amount of health. Tariq takes one for the team. He also got himself a single kill. While it is just a simple knockdown, it is not an elimination for now. Massive amount of glue walls being propped right onto this side of the ridge as we've got Ninja being in front of the enemy's lines. He's literally in everyone's crosshairs as Tariq is still holding himself.
That's one for himself, and that is going to be 2v2, or rather, we've got Shadow all alone right now, 1v1. He's got to do something about this ASAP, but it doesn't seem like things are looking good at all. He runs himself right in between, was hoping that he'll be able to do something against Team Ace, to do something against the last member remaining, but VIP Esports, he found himself dumbfounded, flabbergasted, as all of the team members from Team Ace has already been resurrected.
Yeah, and Ace here, they were going up in what was a trap by VIP. They thought they had the high ground. They thought they were walking in and they were just going to destroy everybody. But Ace was just able to outplay that one, made a very decisive move and completely wiped them out, proving to be the far superior team as they're up 3-0. I mean, yes, they lost Carlos, which is their 2020 MVP, which is pretty massive, but going in, that's still, when you got an entire team wipe, that's a good one.
12th place and 11th place has already been crowned, and thus VIP Esports as well, Geek Fam, they will not be receiving any placement points for themselves. From this point onwards, we will be looking at placement points for the 10th place with 1 point, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to the first place with a total of 12. Which team is going to be the one that holds out the longest? Will Loud be able to get themselves to the podium finish despite only having one member left.
Yeah, look where he is. He's on the entire western side of the map right now. He's completely by himself. Maybe just hiding in a corner, maybe crying, singing a lullaby. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's all by himself. That's where he needs to be. He needs to be safe. But if we're looking more towards the middle, man, this is where the circle is, and things are going to start happening as the next circle starts to close in on everybody.
Too many things going on here within our factory. Let's summarize things for a little bit. We do have First Raiders down south of factory. We do have Phoenix Force up north, a little bit towards the western side, if I may. They are just right around the outskirts of factory, inside of factory, and I would like to believe that they are holding up onto the second floor as well as the rooftop. It is going to be burst the sky. So, you know, BTS, they're holding in well. I believe that they're probably going to have their BTS concert inside of this factory sometime soon. But we also are going to be looking at silence, where they maybe would want to silence this, well, this performance.
Yeah, right now you need to just fortify, bunker down. There's no need to panic. There's no need to go out, especially if you've got all the, the utility and you've already picked up all the inventory that you need. There's no need to be aggressive. As I say that, Mr. 05 and Kronos is making some plays all by himself. This is the lone wolf, and Kronos is gonna get at least a kill for Loud there.
Well, it is not executed just yet, though. It is a single knockdown. He exposed his position, and he knows that he may very well be in danger. And all the other teams in this current map, they definitely know that Loud, we're looking at one last straggler. Because if they paid attention to the kill feed, they should know that 3 of the members from Loud is already dead. And Kronos, being the last man remaining, I'm surprised that HQ Esports did not just rush into the face of Loud, or maybe, well, they have great discipline.
Yeah, but look at the next danger zone, right dead smack in the middle, and that's where how many teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential teams that are in that red zone. They do need to be careful. It goes away now, but this is a smaller circle. It's going to make it extremely tight, considering there's 10 teams still left alive.
Look, we have factory inside of this circle. We can ensure a lot of vertical chaos right in this small little building. We can understand that probably a lot of people would be inside of factory, or they would just avoid it like a plague. Whoever's smart enough, and I think that is going to be Loud, because he's pretty much inside of Clock Tower. He will make full use of the containers that is just right outside of Clock Tower, somewhere in the southeastern side, and just hold it in there. But that could also be a very vulnerable spot, because anyone from the southern side, they can still kind of wrap around, play around the extremities, and get themselves to Clock Tower if, well, they're smart enough.
And LGDS, or aka Goddess, they're just kind of sticking around, bunkering down. Everybody's taking a certain part of the factory. Right now, it's just with different little pieces. You're getting some sort of shots in. Evos and MR5, Godkill are exchanging firefight right now, but nobody's really hitting their shots, considering it's just so far away.
It does seem like some shots is going to be happening inside the factory. The time turner being popped up by Java, as well as a couple of glue walls coming in from First Raiders. They're just trying to lob in the grenades. They're trying to find something on the side of Fluxo. Would they be able to get it out though? But it does seem like it's just going to be an instant jump in, coming in from the opponent's side. Darko is holding his own, but unfortunately I don't think that he will be able to hold it out all by himself though. Joppa coming from the back. It doesn't seem like FR, they are going to go down without a fight just yet. Joker comes in the nick of time. They will be able to successfully resurrect the 2 other remaining characters just because of this one player. Fluxo, Joppa, he's dead. Got killed. The last member remaining here within factory. This is definitely not the answer that you're looking for, especially since Holler, well, he's cheering for Fluxo.
Yeah, and that was just a really bad engagement. They were sticking together. They thought they could go together, and, they were just outclassed on that one. Sometimes you get unlucky. You're not able to hit your shots, and that's what's going to happen here. But Godkill, he's getting a knock on Tika right there. That was a pretty nice shot, but he's kind of by himself. He does need to be careful because he doesn't want to expose himself.
More of the circle is going to be, shown. Is going to be at the northwestern side of the factory. Everyone is just going to be scurrying themselves in. But understandably, from how Free Fire works and how most of the players work, they will always wait for the last remaining member, or rather last remaining time, to jump right in. In the meantime, Fluxo, they are out.
Yeah, that's a pretty massive one. They were tournament favorites. They were my favorite, losing out and getting, I think we're going to see like 1 point or 2 points. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But, nonetheless, they're in not a great spot there. But look at the rest of them. Loud is hanging on a thread. HQ Esports has Tyson. He's the only one left. Evo says 3. A says 3 as well. And it's going to get super tight as we get into the next circle.
This, ladies and gentlemen,
This is what I'm talking about when it is the vertical chaos that is about to happen. For now, first raiders, total of 8 kills, HQ Esports eliminated by Street. EVOS, they are heading somewhere. It does seem like they're going to play around the verticality, just going to be playing by the extremities just by a little bit. As the Cruise, he does have a grenade launcher, by the way. He manages to bring Bruce down, coming in from Goddess, make that 2! 2 of them has been eliminated, 1 of them knocked down. We're going to be looking at one last member, and it is going to be ETA. What exactly must he do to hold himself up? But in the meantime, what we're talking about Goddess's last member, Loud's last member is still alive though.
Yeah, and Skyrix here, he's got 2 kills already. He is the lesser-known cousin of Skillrex right there, and he's got 2 kills. He's leading his team. They've got 3 right now, and they're getting some firefight action here as they're trading shots with Goddess here.
And it's for now. This is probably going to be the last circle. It is just going to be centered right on top of, well, Phoenix Force. They are just holding it down right in the middle, bunkering down. They do have some crates for themselves, but inside the factory though, this is madness. This is madness. Joker, this is going to be the last member remaining. Darkhold currently HP is all the way down low as he's slowly bleeding to death, and that is going to be 1 member down from FR as Joanna coming in from the side of Phoenix. They're holding well, man. They are really holding well. Phoenix Force, even though they are in the center, no one is attacking them, or rather they are the one that's just really been putting quite a lot of effort on the opponent's side. Skyrix takes 1 down, Condemn from BTS, he's down. We do have Spastic. He's going to be looking at quite a lot of opponents. A lot of the glue wall just going to be deployed as well, as he hops himself right on top of the boxes, trying to get himself in the next circle, because this is the point of time where this is circle number 5.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive one. Everybody's starting to engage right now. Phoenix Fire, Kronos is actually doing a flanking action from the north. There's just firefights all around, and the Cruise is just tearing it up right now. Loud has been eliminated.
Oh, that's Vashney. He's currently being knocked down, coming in from Phoenix Force. We have 4 we still only have 3 teams left. Silence, Team Ace, and Phoenix Force. They are just holding themselves in. Team Ace is the kill leader. Phoenix Force outside of the play zone. You can pretty much see that Zamaro is dropping it on grenades like a boss. And quarter kill coming in is just making things more and more crazy as Joanna picks himself up with a triple. What is going to be looking at a quadra? Yes, we will! A quadra kill definitely going to be credited over to the side of Joanna. Naruto gets himself 3 total kills as well as everyone else. They are just going to be huddling themselves right in the center of this circle as we do have Team 8. Naruto just going to be getting himself a kill right onto the Silence. The Silence going to go down on the third place with 2 versus 2. This is going to be the last batch coming in as teammates are just doing whatever that they can. Unfortunately, just completely shut down. Coming in by Phoenix Force as teammates get themselves down. Phoenix Force gets themselves with the total booyah. Now that is what I call a booyah. A prime example being set by Phoenix Force as they held their ground all in the middle of the map. Everyone is just scurrying around like little ants, and yet they still came up on top despite being the one that is, well, in the middle.
I mean, that was absolute chaos in the end, and I was having a hard time telling exactly what everything was happening, but I saw at least 4 different players, I think 2 from Phoenix Force that got, quad kills themselves, which is going to be absolutely massive. I want to see exactly the number of kills that everyone got, because I think they're going to have a hard time finding out the top 3 with all of this.
This is going to be tough. There is absolutely no way that I can even put up some math at the top of my head. I mean, they call me Math Track for a reason, but, well, I can't put it out. Like, who have the most amount of kills?
To be honest, that was the thing. It was just so chaotic. I wasn't really sure because once I looked up, I think the Cruz or Joanna, I think one of those 2 players definitely had one. That was just an insane game, and like you saw what happened. Like that circle converged. I think there was like 6 or so teams, and then left and right, everybody was dying.
Well, one thing's for sure is despite the fact that First Raiders got out, well, I think around 6th place or something like that, they have got massive amount of kills. This is very different from the play-ins. Like even for example, if you were to be knocked down in like 6th place, you hardly have any kills. Probably 0, 1, or even 2. But this time, looking at First Raiders, they got knocked down somewhere below 3rd place that I know, and I think they've got like 8.
Yeah. I think so too. It was definitely around that number. And here's the thing. I mean, you're talking about how play-ins had less teams and all that stuff. The grand finals had 12 teams, and you're just seeing the absolute chaos. But here's the thing. Like, when you saw teams like Fluxo try to go in, be the aggressor, take a team fight 4-on-4, and then the fact that they lost that one, that's absolutely massive, right? You have to ensure that you're hitting your shots, you're making sure that everybody's checking the corners, making sure that you're hitting the right people and you're focusing down on the right side. Because if you get lost like that and you end up, 11th place, you're going home with 0? Not only 0 points, but 0 points in terms of kills as well.
Yikes. And of course, maneuvering around in Free Fire is one of the most important things that you should be looking at, because it's not all about marksmanship, how you move, how you aim, and how the opponents move as well.
Yeah. No, everything needs to work in tandem, right?
Yes.
I mean, okay, I like the fact that when Fluxo had the Chrono Shield, and they decided right when it dropped it, they went in together. But hey, let's look at the match standings here. We're going to see Phoenix Force with that monster game. 11 kills, but the 23, plus the Booyah, obviously, with all that. Team Ace up 2nd with 21 points. First Raiders at 3rd, and tied with Silence. Pretty good showing for both of those teams.
And of course, well, First Raiders, despite only getting themselves a rank points of 4, they have gotten themselves with a total of 12 points because they have 8 kills apparently, not 6. And of course, Silence, they were the ones that ended off with 3rd place. But unfortunately, they don't have enough kill points as compared to First Raiders. It is 12 and 12. And First Raiders and Silence, they are neck and neck. So the games is still pretty close.
Yeah, so okay, one of my favorite things was that Kronos from Loud. I gotta give him props. He was the last man standing for the longest period of time, and he got him 8 points, but he's not as good as the Cruz here, who got MVP with 7 kills for Phoenix Force.
His name has been popping up like hot pancakes, and not just the Cruz. Joanna is also another member that have got quite a bit of kills to his name. Okay. But, well, Joker? He's got 6 kills coming in from First Raiders. Team Ace, Naruto, have got a total of 5 kills.
Yeah, and there were definitely other players that had 4 kills. I know there were at least another one from Phoenix Force. I wasn't sure the exact breakdown, and mind you, this is just kills galore. There's just, too many players, 48 players. I mean, it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what happens when the circle just converges right on top of Factory, right? There's so many grounds to cover. There's so many covers, literally, whereby you can't get caught by the opponents as long as you just look for a 6. Someone got your 6, you're good. Until the circle pretty much forces you out of the circle. And that is kind of like what Phoenix Force did. They don't rely on Factory itself. They find themselves outside of Factory, and thus, if worst comes to worst, the worst situation is that they have to run inside the Factory. I think that is okay.
Yeah.
But for the others, if they have to run out of Factory, Phoenix Force, they have already bunkered down. They already made themselves at home. They can just rule out everyone else.
Yeah, and that's going to be some good strategy as we go into future games. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back with match 2 right away.
É o fluxo, vem, meu parceiro. Eram pessoas que me assistiam, meus fãs e tudo mais, e hoje tá brilhando junto comigo. Quem sabe você aí também não segue o fluxo. Tamo junto.
I can't wait to test this out in the game. Wow, this is cool. Guys, strap yourselves in for a brand new racing and gaming collaboration. McLaren and Free Fire have teamed up to bring exclusive McLaren skins to the Free Fire game. Stay tuned on how to unlock these in-game.
and welcome back to the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021. My name is Holler and this is Abstract, and we saw a monster game by Phoenix Force by pulling out 25 points in that one. Second place was Ace, First Raiders was third. Is it over already?
Of course not. For all our friends out there, we still have a total of 5 games to go. So what's happening is that we have only completed in Bermuda. We then will be looking at Kalahari and then back at Purgatory, and it's just gonna go on a cycle. But of course, before we even jump into all the other games, a big shout out and big thank you over to ROG, as the ROG phone and the ROG headset is the official gaming gear of the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021, whereby all of the players behind, they are all using them.
Yeah, and they're all using it. Unfortunately, they didn't let us use any. I don't know why. I'm a little personally insulted by that, but I'm attacked by that. But we're gonna go into Kalahari up next. Now, we saw the first one. We saw some strategies that didn't work. But like, what in your opinion was like the biggest standout, at least in match 1?
Well, Fluxo not being able to flex, so.
Yeah, all right. I'll be doing the dad jokes, but go on.
Okay. But one of the most important things is that Loud, they have made their way over to the northern side, and it doesn't seem like they are always alone in the northern side. As I believe that Silence as well as Evo's Divine, they kind of did the same thing by heading over to slightly in the northern area. But I don't know if this is going to be a pattern by Evo's as well as Silence. This is something that we can probably only see in Kalahari, or rather I would like to call them Calamari, and as well as in Purgatory, or I would like to call Burgatory.
Okay, all right. I think somebody is hungry because that's all you're talking about.
Fit me!
And now you're actually making me hungry. But nonetheless, we've got the thumbs up so far, and it looks like they're fired up and good to go here. But it looks like we want to continue on. Like, I think the teams that did not place well, they really need to step it up. They need to change it up. Maybe that was a warm-up game, I'm not sure. But they really didn't seem to hit their shots. They got completely wiped out. If you look at it from the play-ins to today, you're seeing just how decisive and how quickly they destroy teams.
Well, this is a completely different ball game, right? Once the teams, they want to execute for something, they go all out. They don't just go, half-ass it and just kind of go in and out. No, I don't want to do this kind of thing. Maybe we saw something like that from GameFam, but because they jumped in the most unexpected area and they happened to find one other team.
Yeah,
that's understandable.
Yeah, he got caught off. He was by himself. He did. I don't remember the player's name. Excuse me. Sorry. He died so early.
Yeah,
Zach. He was the first one. First blood and all that. And so put their team in a very bad, precarious situation, and you kind of saw what happened, and you can't really continue to fight with those things. But if we're looking at some of the stats that we saw, I mean, Ace had a monster game. They had 12 kills, even more so than the #1 team, the Booyah team with Phoenix Force. I mean, 12 to 11, it's minor, but Ace really stepping up here.
This is not a big difference at all, if you ask me. But of course, Phoenix Force with a total of 11 kills in that game, that is pretty insane. Ace as well, a total of 12, but they're just losing out. At least for Ace, they're just kind of losing out a little bit because of the placement points. Yeah. So these two can definitely be great grand rivals. So maybe game number 2 in Kalahari, we might be looking at something completely similar, or maybe something completely different.
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing about Team Ace is you cannot sleep on this team. Yes, they got second place, but this is one of those teams that had one of the worst regular season starts ever. Right? Everything was very inconsistent. They were not doing very well until they got a coach. His name is Prof Tato. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But once he came in, he really just added a little stability. He helped the team really coach them up and everything. And they ended up 4th place in the regular season, which put them in prime position to do well in the grand finals. As they were going into the grand finals, they overcame a 2-point gap against God's Plan Esports with a Booyah with only 3 players.
And that is basically how they got themselves into the journey of the finals instead of God's Plan, because God's Plan, they got themselves into the play-ins, but unfortunately, it didn't work towards their plans, unfortunately.
Yeah, I see what you did there. But here's the thing, okay? This is why every single tiebreaker, winning those things out and making sure that you're in the grand finals as opposed to play-ins is a world of difference. If you're looking at what they had to do, Loud had to literally kill a lot of people to get there, right? First Raiders as well. It was very difficult for a lot of the teams to even potentially get there. You talked about Viceroy, you talked about Singularity, all of these teams that probably had a chance at getting into this. But the thing is that when when you have to play a whole nother event just to get to the main stage, things can happen.
Yeah, there's just so many unorthodox things that may happen. I talked about Viceroy before, but the league as well as the play-ins, the way that you play it is all completely different. You may be able to adjust based on how game number 1 plays like, especially in Bermuda, and then if the next game is going to be Bermuda again, you can immediately change it up. You want to tackle against some other team, like maybe EVOS. They went over to Sawmill or went over to the Bullseye. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna whack them. Those kind of stuff, right? Or maybe the same case for GigFam, right? GigFam, we dropped where we dropped. I do not like where we dropped. I'm gonna change somewhere else. I do not want to find them again. But unfortunately, this is something that they will only do at game number 4. And of course, this is what I want to see. A little bit of changes from these teams. But unfortunately, we will not be looking at too much of a changes yet because this is just going to be game number 2 in Kalahari. Let's take a look at how these players going to be playing, where they are going to be landing here in Kalahari game number 2.
To the map here.
This is going to be quite a game as we do have the flight path that is going to be starting all the way from the eastern side all the way to the western side. And of course, we've got a good amount of teams that are just pretty much flying everywhere. No crazy things going on at all, as every single one of these teams, they are in their fine establishment, or maybe not, as we do have EVOS that jumped right together with Loud. Northern side, baby, what did I say? We do have Loud that did manage to get themselves the first blood right on top of their heads of EVOS, as MRO5 takes himself 1 onto K1, and this is going to be a 1-for-1 trade between these two teams. Street, he finds himself at the top of this, well, half of a pyramid, and the rest of the members from Loud, they doesn't seem like they would want to, entertain EVOS anymore.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Kalahari. The map is definitely very small. Everything is very, very tight. So trying to find your equipment, you're like, look at them. Loud are all sticking together. Yes, they've got some guns, but they did get that one pick off from EVOS, which is a pretty big one we talked about, right? So they're going to try to continue on here, and they've kind of split off from the rest of them. EVOS probably going to have to look to survive. Loud right now are going to continue to pillage the area.
It is 1-for-1 after all. Loud and EVOS, they kind of feel as though like, we are neck and neck, right? We have similar marksmanship. Let's just kind of back off a little bit. Let's give us some breathing space. I'm gonna go this way. You go that way. Let's not disturb one another. Until the point of time where Loud Kronos say, you know what? Let's break this pact. I want to stalk them.
Yeah, and we should stick around. I mean, you have numbers. You know that you got that kill. Getting every single kill matters. Every point. It's so important that you make sure that you get as many kills as you can. And if you found like a part of the team, it's up to you to pray and make sure you get the rest of them.
MRO5, it does seem like he do have a sliver of idea that Loud is still right around the vicinity. He went all the way out in the open, dropped a glue wall, and then got himself right back into a safe place. I'm not too sure exactly what is going to be the game plan from the side of Kronos or from the side of Loud, but they're just sticking around this area. But the good thing is, we are looking at Kalahari after all, and I always repeated this and I always say this. Whenever you're in Kalahari, don't be afraid to go out for a fight because the chances of you being third-partied is very low.
I thought you were going to say when you're in Kalahari, you're not to be afraid of calamari, but no, that's not going to happen. Okay. Nonetheless, we're looking in the middle. Fluxor's kind of sticking together. They're kind of doing a little bit of looting action, and they want to be more centralized, which is a little bit different from how they played last map, that is. But they're going to probably look to skirmish in with HQ Esports coming from the west.
As it is for now, Loud, they are finally getting themselves out of the vicinity, right inside of Bayfront. EVOS, it does seem like they know
what is going on as well. But for now, let's talk a little bit more about the circle, as Goddess got themselves inside of Mammoth, and inside of Mammoth is also going to be some parts of the circle. The circle just going to be comprising the bulk of the island, and Old Hampton is the only place that is not within this area. And we talked about this before, many times. Whoever plays in Kalahari, you know that Refinery is the place to go.
Yeah, because it's central. It's got, it's got high ground galore. It's got so many different options that you could potentially be. The last fights, the last circles, if they happen to go to the Refinery, you're gonna have a good time, right? And so you want to make sure that you're there first so that you can get that perfect position and that elevation, which is all important in this game.
But of course, we're talking about high risk, high reward. Whichever team that would want to make their way into Refinery, they must be ready for an action. But the thing is, things are slightly different from competitive games, screaming games, and park games. Because there are times whereby people, they just want to contest for Refinery because of the sake of it. That is park. Where for screams, you would want to go over there because, well, why not? I want to kill people. I want to try some tactics out. I want to learn about the other teams. Why not? But in competitive mode, when we are looking at a real competitive setting, dropping into Refinery has got to be one of the most ballsy moves that there is to be. Because, well, there may be a little bit of some kind of a reverse psychology going on about, go to where may be usually busy, but it's actually empty.
High risk, high reward, my friend. It's great in terms of positioning. It's going to hold you in for the long term. There's a great amount of loot. It got elevation. It's got a lot of positives that you can do. Mind you, of course, yes, you might get decimated in the first minute, but you know what I mean? Like Fluxor, they seem to have this on lockdown, and they're actually making their way out of that, and it looks like they're going to move and run into Ace here.
Oh man, Fluxor versus Ace. Fluxor didn't quite do very well in game number 1, and Ace, they did pretty darn well, and of course, their marksmanship is very important. They did manage to get themselves a total of 12 kills in that previous game, so we should not discount for the marksmanship that Ace had. But one thing for sure, as Japa takes the first shot, as his shot is just going to be echoing throughout the entire horizon. Nobru takes one off of the head of Carlos, another one assassinated. More and more of these people is definitely going to eat some lead, as Fluxo slowly gets himself all of the members killed within of the side of Team Ace. 3 of them decapitated. The last one is going to be Tiki, as he holds himself down inside of the glue wall, behind the boxes, nowhere to go. As Fluxo did not give them a chance. They did not pull any punches, and that was a brutal execution.
How quickly they fall. Ace here was match 2, they got second place. Now they've been dropped out. They get 0 points for this round. I don't think they got a single kill. They're completely knocked out. Japa, here, he has the most kills in the history of LBFF, and you see exactly why. He was by himself, kind of isolated. He saw an entire house of enemies, and he was like, let's go, let's bring it on in, and they came in like SWAT, and they completely wiped out the team.
Yeah, they literally got swatted, man. Literally got swatted, and that is what's insane from the side of Fluxo. And I would say that there maybe is a chance of luck involved in that, because we do have one of the members coming from Ace. They were using the third-person view to just kind of make sure that they are scouting outside, but it just so happened that it is the wrong window. And Japa, he took that chance. He shot whoever's inside, immediately executed him, and then the rest of his team came in right in the nick of time as well. Nobru, he immediately jumped into action, and they worked on it in sync.
Yeah, and they came from all 4 windows or whatever.
They saw the contract.
Literally, they went in. I mean, they were just missing the flashbangs and the SWAT calls pretty much. But that was as professional as it got. But you see just how quickly the tables can turn. You do need to be careful, and this is why this game is so crazy in the fact that, like, hey, you had a great first match, things can happen, now you're on the bottom.
Yeah, this is gonna be sad over to the side of Team Ace. But of course, Fluxo, they are pretty darn happy. Right after getting themselves out of Refinery, they got themselves a easy 4 kills. And I dare say it's easy because that was a convincing win. None of the members from the side of Fluxo even took, well, I mean, some of them took some damage, but none of them were knocked down. And that is the true epitome of, well, convincing win.
Yeah, and Japa was coming in. He was getting, actually, he knocked one guy, and then he was backing away, trying to reload, and the other guy actually went out the window to go after him. And Japa was like, oh, you want to come after me? No, I got you. And he takes him out as well.
Wow, my, oh my. The rabbit really shouldn't have chased this hunter. And at this point of time, well, Team Ace, Yikes. And of course, the inconsistency from Team Ace was definitely probably going to bring them to the middle part of the scoreboard. And I've got my hopes up. I'm looking at Fluxo now. There's so many other teams that is still in contention for this game because the circle is going to be popped in the eastern side of Kalahari with Phoenix Force right in the center of that circle. And this is just flashbacks. This is like the same thing as the previous game. Phoenix Force, center of the circle, they don't cower behind big buildings. They just want to bunker down somewhere, hold their six, and just gatekeep.
Yeah, and Phoenix Force, they're in the middle, but they know exactly where their opponents are. Their awareness is like on another level. They were getting some shots off on Fluxo. They know that they're in the vicinity. VIP are also close, and as well as First Raiders. But hey, if we're looking at Evo's top, they're going up against Silence as well, and there's a little bit of a skirmish on that top run. Needs to be careful. This circle is starting to close on down.
They're eating the storm. They are just slowly getting ticks and ticks and ticks of damage. But one thing's different is that Silence, they are taking the catapult and they're just flying right through the air. Evos have realized that, you know what, we have missed our chance. So let us just head on through, get ourselves inside the circle and completely avoid Silence. Now that is a good play from Evos. They had good trigger discipline. They do not immediately fight against Silence because they were in a pretty precarious positioning as well, as they are constantly getting themselves hit from the storm.
Oh, but Silence are in the position to gatekeep against Loud, who are actually eating some blue damage right now. They're making their way south, but Silence are waiting with their arms open. They're like, all right, you want to come in? Let's go in. Here's a giant hug full of bullets.
Well, this is great, right? Because Silence, they pretty much understood that there will be teams that was go around the perimeters of the current circle, because the circle at the eastern side is so close to, the end circle. I'm not saying end circle, but the previous circle and the current circle is too close. So you don't really even need to move that much. But with this current circle now, it is comprising of absolutely nothing. Barren wasteland. Something that Phoenix Force loves. And it just so happened that they themselves are inside along with VIP Esports.
Alright, but HQ Esports are going to just zip line in. They're going to meet Goddess and they're just going to go right ham and they're going to get some pot shots. They thought they were safe on that flank, but with that zip line coming in, they're just coming in hot.
On that front, Roro coming in from Goddess. He's just going to be holding himself up in Vin of the Time Turner. He should be A-okay for now, but not until the point of time with HQ Esports. They make their move right now as Now pops out the glue wall. They're just going to be holding down this small little part of the tent, but unfortunately they really have to watch out for the other entrance of the tank. But for now, ETA has gone down. Bruce is going to go down as well as HQ is coming in. Storm and guns blazing. Roro is going to be exposing his position as he tossed a grenade over to the side of HQ Esports, only to find himself in a precarious position. Tyson goes down. Skyrix, one on Noda on the other side of the map. But Funky M is just going to be heading right inside of the faces of LGDS. And of course, Goddess takes the blow. They are going to be ranked at number 11, while none of them even brought a single kill onto the side of their opponents. And that is one easy kill for HQ Esports.
That was an absolute disaster for Goddess. They thought they were going to be the ambushing it, or they got ambushed there by HQ Esports. Caught them off guard. They were trying to run, and there were too many things going on, and they were not coordinated at all. And not being able to get a single return kill, that is unacceptable.
That is absolutely unacceptable. But you know what else is unacceptable? The fact that we are going to be jumping into the next fight, because things are starting to get chaotic. Things are starting to get fast. As BTS is hiding inside of this crate. He's hiding inside the containers. Did anyone see him at all? As we do have Shin coming in with the grenade launcher. He did manage to get a kill down on the dark hole. He's just going to be popping down the glue wall, holding himself inside. He should be still A-okay as he is still inside of the circle? I have no idea though. It does seem like from his silhouette, he is a... Yes, Shin, it's okay. Inside the circle, inside the containers. But unfortunately, he has shut himself down inside. Like an otaku he is. But everywhere, all around the map, Shin, with the grenade launcher, got the kill on the Umba. Get eliminated at number 9. Definitely something that we did not expect, as Umba constantly getting himself hits and hits and hits. Shin finishes him off with a nice grenade launcher. That is an execute.
That's an amazing shot right there, and they really needed that. VIP, though, like they have 0 kills to their name. They gotta find something. It's one thing to survive, but you're getting rewarded, and First Raiders does go down now. They're been the 8th team eliminated here. Shadow's getting some shots on, not actually able to connect on anything, not really doing much damage.
Precision shots all around the map. We do have Silence. They are all the way in the northern side. They are definitely going to be gatekeeping against EVOS over here, but I don't think that is going to go too far. Take a look at that grenade coming in for VIP Esports. Fluxo is not going to be stopping just yet. Phoenix Force is not going to be stopping as well. You do have a lot of throwables just going to be throwing right into the opponent's faces for now. EVOS, Abu is the last man remaining from the side of EVOS, and that is definitely not something that was expected because EVOS, they were strong. They are strong, but what has happened to them? Being sandwiched in between of Fluxo as well as Silence, he's definitely going to go down as Skyrex with the nice sniper rifle puts the final lead in between of his eyes.
Yeah, and see here, just kind of Silence, that is. They're just trying to third party here. Fluxo, they know that they need to move in. So, Skyrex does get knocked. Nice shot by Joanna, come out of nowhere.
And of course, we are going to be looking at more damage being dealt over to the northeastern side of the map as HQ Esports and VIP Esports, they are getting closer and closer and closer. But Silence, though, they are the one in the middle of everything else. They're also going to be looking at Fluxo. They're also going to be looking at quite a bit of members here. What exactly is going on? As Zamaro takes one, the Cruz another one, and they have completely nuked out Fluxo. HQ Esports eliminated as well. All around the map from the north to the south to the east to the west. We are looking at VIP Esports with a total of 4 kills. They have found themselves some opponents on the side of Phoenix Force. On the right side, they are also looking at Silence. They're taking a little bit too much for themselves. They have put themselves down with a couple of glue walls, hitting themselves onto the trees, and they are just going to be leaving the rest of the fight over to the side of Silence to take them down. But unfortunately, they go down as VIP Esports take onto the helm. 4v4. VIP Esports and as well as Phoenix Force, they're still holding out well. Phoenix Force, what exactly they're doing? They have got a really nice grenade over with a pew pew, baby. And we have Phoenix Force, one man down, managed to get himself a really nice resurrect over here. VIP Esports, Choke goes down, Joanna getting the pistols and the shots and everything else right on top of the opponent's faces as VIP Esports gets themselves down. And what can I say, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the booyah once again for Phoenix Force.
EVOS Esports actually had 2 teams in this race, right? They had EVOS Esports Indonesia, and they're going to be called EVOS Divine, and then you have Phoenix Force, who actually lost the EVOS moniker, right? Yes. After these 2 booyahs by Phoenix Force, I think there might be some changing in at least the names.
Well, at least in the future tournaments, I would like to say, because well, we pretty much know how names and stuff are being thrown around. But one of the names that should always be thrown around from my mouth to other people's mouth is of course the fact that ROG is the one and only, because their ROG phone and of course the ROG headsets is the official gaming gear of Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021, whereby all of the players at the back
They are rocking and decking themselves up with such great gears, and they are not gonna be missing out a single part of the action, not gonna be missing out a single part of the audio cue whenever they
was the second place. They got knocked out. They got 0 points. That's going to be pretty massive going in, and then but again, we're talking about consistency. If you're consistently getting booyahs, you're doing something well.
Well, let's talk about this a little bit more, right? Because we are 2 games in, and back to back, we are looking at Phoenix Force getting themselves with booyahs. And don't forget, I'm pretty confident that the amount of kills that they have gotten is no meager amount as well. A back-to-back booyah from Phoenix Force is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
They could not have asked for a better start. How do you get, I mean, you 2 booyahs in a row. This is, again, giving me flashbacks of Liga Brasilia, where Corinthians got the first 2 booyahs of that grand finals as well, and they didn't even make it into top 3. Right?
Yikes.
So those are the kinds of things that happen, right? So moving forward, like, yes, Phoenix Force, they're in a great position. They're definitely...
We do have Phoenix Force that have got a total of 23 points for themselves. And as for Silence, we've got a total of 18 points as VIP Esports takes the 3rd place with a total of 13. And in terms of ranking points, you know, VIP Esports, they're the one that held it all the way to 2nd place. But the thing is, Silence, they have got way more kills than VIP Esports. Despite Silence being knocked down in 3rd place, they still got a head right above of VIP Esports.
I mean, look at the top 2 teams. Phoenix Force getting 11 kills, that is. Silence is 10, but that's more than double any of the other teams. Like, they are completely on fire, and the fact that you're able to get the kills, be as decisive as they were, just completely owning that. I mean, look.
Way more kills than VIP Esports. Despite Silence being knocked down in 3rd place, they still got a head right above of VIP Esports.
I mean, look at the top 2 teams. Phoenix Force getting 11 kills, that is. Silence is 10, but that's more than double any of the other teams. Like, they are completely on fire, and the fact that you're able to get the kills, be as decisive as they were, just completely owning that. I mean, look, the bottom 6 right now struggling to get any sort of points right now.
Their name, well,
as they were, just
5 kills भी काफी अच्छा आंकड़ा है 5 kills
any of the other teams. Like, they are completely on fire, and the fact that you're able to get the kills, be as decisive as they were, just completely owning that. I mean, look, the bottom 6 right now struggling to get any sort of points right now.
Their name, well,
you want to be balanced have time to do anything else, right? So this is the moment where you need to be able to hit your shots, and they're proving Phoenix getting 11 kills, that is. Silence is 10, but that's more than double any of the other teams. Like, they are completely on fire, and the fact that you're able to get the kills, be as decisive as they were, just completely owning that. I mean, look, the bottom 6 right now struggling to get any sort of points right now.
Their name, well,
you want to be balanced, have time to do anything else, right? So this is the moment where you need to be able to hit your shots, and they're proving Phoenix Force right now to be the best one.
They all have to carry their own weight. And understandably, we do have seen much of the quick swap kind of sniper
struggling to get any sort of points right now?
Their name, well,
you want to be balanced, ever have time to do anything else, right? So this is the moment where you need to be able to hit your shots, and they're proving Phoenix Force right now to be the best one.
They all have to carry their own weight. And understandably, we do have seen much of the quick swap kind of snipe.
Chọn một màu để diễn tả tâm trạng của mình thì mình sẽ chọn màu đen.
Лидер. Оппоненты это, конечно же, бразильцы. Хочется проявить. Лучшую игру.
บุรีรัมย์เดนเซียผ่านมาก็ล้วนต้องการแชมป์ทั้งหมดครับรวมถึงทีมผมก็ต้องการแชมป์เหมือนกันครับ
You sitting at home on your nice comfy chairs is very prepared, and of course very curious in esports, right?
Yes.
They will get overconfident. They kind of think that, oh, you know what? We can just kind of roll around. We can be, we don't show off too much kind of thing. Like how ROG is showing off their ROG phones and ROG headsets to all these players because they are the official gaming gear of Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021 after all.
All right, when you're using an ROG phone and headset, you can pretty much show off because I think you can start to flex at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point, like you're playing very well and you're seeing exactly how well Phoenix Force is able to do that. They've got an insane amount of kills, more than everyone else. I mean, I don't even know, like, they probably don't want to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Yep.
Right? You definitely want to just close it out whenever you can.
You would want to floor it at this point of time.
Yeah, but the thing is that once you start to floor it, you get over aggressive, you get out there, and then you become vulnerable. So you have to be careful.
Yep, there's like this really nice golden zone, this nice little sweet spot whereby you don't go and pedal up too fast, or else you'll just come in and crashing and you'll be like, I'll take him, one person, I'll take all of you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, they're doing well, but back to the team that you thought was the highest, at least, you know, the favorite for you.
Yep.
You talked about Silence. Those guys have what? 30 points. They're 16 points behind, which seems like a lot. It's been only like 2 matches. But the thing is that, and the third place team, which is Team A's, they got 21 points. They got 0 in that last one.
Oh,
so,
yes.
is this a race to number 2 at this point, or
I
what?
suppose that this is a race to still be number 1 because we still have 4 more games to go, and in average, the first place players always have more than 20 points, and whichever team that doesn't get far away from that 20-point lead, like the discrepancy is not that high, they have to be careful no matter what.
Okay, all right. We've talked enough about Phoenix Force. I'm done talking about them. They are clearly, you know, the favorites at this point.
Right,
but let's look at the other teams. Burst the Sky, they have 19 points. First Raiders 15, Evil's Divine with 15. It's pretty much anybody's ball game, at least in that middle area, right?
Well, there is still gonna be quite some changes, I would believe, because Purgatory, this very map, is relatively huge. We can be expecting people jumping to the southern areas such as the Central Fire Brigade or South Lumber Mill. That is quite expecting, right? Something that we can expect. How about Mode House now? Will Loud actually make their way over to the Mode House all the way in the northern side? How's that point looking right now?
Okay, they will 100% drop in the north.
Huge. We can be expecting people jumping to the southern areas such as the Central Fire Brigade or South Lumber Mill. That is quite expecting, right? Something that we can expect. How about Mode House now? Will Loud actually make their way over to the Mode House all the way in the northern side? How's that point looking right now?
Okay, they will 100% drop in the north. Okay, that's all they do. I've only seen, like, I look at data when I look at the teams or whatever, and I've seen that Loud is only dropped in the north side almost every single time.
I would say, okay, so this time, let's play a little bit of a bet, right?
Okay.
We know that Loud always goes to the northern side, but the question is, are they going to Mode House or are they going to Crossroads?
I probably would go Crossroads, but that's just me, and I'm not Loud, and I'm not good at this game. But
let's keep it as Crossroads for you. I'm gonna be talking about Mode House in the moment that they actually do that. You know.
Okay.
It will be a fun thing to do.
All right, but let's go into Purgatory Match 3, starting right now.
Here we go with the flight path starting from the southern portion all the way to the northern portion. It is literally going to be a 6 to a 12 o'clock flight path cutting through Lumber Mill, Fields, as well in some sense Mode House. And one thing for sure, I saw a small little glimpse whereby Loud actually still make their way kind of to the Mode House, but for now I want to focus more on to BTS. Their performance is not quite as loud as we want them to be, as Dark has already gone down, eliminated. Goddamn is gonna be knocked down as well. VIP Esports though, they are still pretty much healthy except for Joke.
we just got knocked down. Tarek holding himself down with just a single breath with a sliver of health, and Shadow is still trying to do his very best to bring down Shin, and he is going to be eliminated. And BTS, baby, they are eliminated just within 1 minute.
A VIP looking like a butter, taking it away from BTS in that sense, and they just completely wiped them out. They didn't lose anybody. Yeah, there were a couple knocks, but hey, I'll just pick up my buddy there, and just really well played by VIP, and it started off very, very strong.
VIP, man oh man, they loud. I really hope that you guys are able to hear their cheers. I hope that you can hear them, well, yelling in the background, because that is great. Remember how Holler and I, we had this small little bet for nothing, whereby Loud is going to go to the Crossroads or Loud is going to Mode House. Yeah, I say Mode House, Holler say Crossroads, but they actually went half-half.
So we both win. There are no winners in this one, and it's very awkward because I hate losing or even tying at this point. We're gonna have to figure out some sort of tiebreaker, but it looks like, again, Loud in the north, completely pilfering everything and making their way south. Typical stuff right there. But if we're looking at other ones, look at this island on the bottom, right?
Yep.
This is gonna be the big one. Silencer VIP that just ended up destroying BTS, and first Raiders. This is a stacked island. You need to be careful.
Yeah, the bottom island is someplace that everyone loves. I myself love it as well. And all of these members, they share the same sentiment. So, because one of the main reasons is that once you have the island all for yourself, you can pretty much head your way over to Lumber Mill, Fire Brigade, or perhaps Central. And the best place that you can go next is either go over to the golf course, and even if you head your way to the golf course, you still have got a very solid getaway to the main island, as the archipelago isn't that big after all.
All right, we got to keep our eyes on Phoenix Force, right? We just need to understand everybody needs to target them.
Idea.
They need to focus on them. But the thing is that they're all by themselves. They're behind Bubbleworks right there. I mean, they're near the quarry, but they're pilfering everything. They have access to everything, and there's nobody nearby, so they're happy with this.
They're happy with the pillaging that they're doing at this moment in time. I believe that they kind of just played around in the Western Island. They just need to stay in there. The circle have yet to reveal itself in 18 seconds. Then we'll start to see a little bit glimpse of the small little circle. But I'm very, very confident that Brasilia is definitely going to be in there because, well, it's right smack in the center of the map. It makes sense for Brasilia to be inside. But speaking of Brasilia, we have 4 teams that is around Brasilia.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that Fluxo went to Brasilia, right? Because a Brazilian team right there.
Welcome.
But nonetheless, they're right in smack dab in the middle. Phoenix Force did well when they were.
The way that I'm looking at this circle is that, of course, it is a northwestern circle. We should be expecting quite a bit of a choke point. Right at the northern side of Brasilia, and thus HQ Esports, they're nice in here. We've got Fluxo, they're nice in there as well. But one of the most underrated positions that we can be looking at is going to be at where Phoenix Force is. They are all the way on the western part of the archipelago. They're just chilling in there, because one thing I can say for sure is the next circle, no matter how far ahead, how far towards the eastern side it is, the small little beach area right by the riverbank, you can still stay in there and you can still swim over, provided that you know that it is safe.
All right, Geek Fam has just kind of Give them a little. No, I mean, I'm sorry that you had to follow their journey.
I mean, they are great within their region. When we come looking at MCP, right? We're looking at Malaysia, Cambodia, Philippines. They were strong. They were reigning champions. But one thing that I realized that Gig Fam, they are very inconsistent. And they play well in a long run because every time league or even they are great within their region. When we come looking at MCP, right? We're looking at Malaysia, Cambodia, Philippines. They were strong. They were reigning champions. But one thing that I realized that Gig Fam, they are very inconsistent and they play well in a long run because every time league or even not getting the beat or whatever.
But again, this is one of those things where you don't have time. You need to be stable. You need to ensure you're getting some sort of kills kind of in the middle area. If you're not going to win out, at least give yourself a chance.
Even being Chronos, it wouldn't help you. Even with Time Turner, it wouldn't help you. But the Time Turner is using Chronos because it makes sense. We hardly see a lock anymore, and that honestly kind of bums me out because I miss looking at players popping drop. It kind of bums me out because I miss looking at players popping drop the beat, running around with the disc, with just the musical, running around with the disc, with just the musical notes running around them, and they're just outmaneuvering the opponents. That was hilarious while the opponents trying to catch up with their speed.
And we haven't really seen that. I mean, it seems like there's just too much action. The typical sniper, the slow, advances and all that stuff. It's just been hot and heavy from minute one, right? There's no time for that. So this is the thing that if the teams tend to play a little bit slow and steady, you need to change up the pace. You need to get yourself in the game, get in the action, get those kills. Change up the pace. You need to get yourself in the game, get in the action, get those kills.
And for now, none of these teams is really in. That's great. Area will be in the next circle no matter how eastern sided it is.
Yeah, but look at HQ Esports right in the middle. I think that's that's in the river in itself, right? Like that. I mean, if they think they're Navy SEALs or whatever, but Zarmo's looking around. He's trying to get the grenade. VIP Shadow gets the nice little knock right there. Skyrix with some nice plays.
Wow, that is a triple usage of that glue wall, and they are still not giving up with the grenades. They're just bumping and bumping and bumping over to the side of VIP Esports. Well, Zamaro! The amount of grenades that is just tossing over to the heads of VIP. This is not a fight by the skin of their teeth. They are losing this fight like crazy because of the massive amount of grenades being tossed over to them. That is an artillery strike, man-made artillery strike.
Zarmo was on point with those grenades, and this is the thing, when things slow down, you know it's going to get even hotter later because of the fact that they're like hoarding all of the grenades. Those are eventually going to be shown, and man, you saw what happened was VIP had no chance. They weren't able to run away.
They can't retaliate at all.
Yeah, they can't. They got the glue walls up, and he's like, all right, I'll just throw some grenades over them.
Yep, easy game. Just lob it over. Just throw it over. I have a lot of grenades. I can just cook the grenade. I can do whatever that I want in order to bring VIP Esports out, and thus they are out. 12th place will be given over to the side of BTS. 11th place will be given over to the side of VIP Esports. From this point on, the teams will then be able to get themselves some placement
से भी उन पे यहाँ पे शॉट्स आ रहा है एंड लाउड रिवर्ट बैक कर रही है अपने एक्चुअल पोजीशन में, ओरिजिनल पोजीशन में.
12th place will be given over to the side of BTS. 11th place will be given over to the side of VIP Esports. From this point on, the teams will then be able to get themselves some placement calls. Time a third party onto a third party onto a third party. As Fluxo, they are all the way in the eastern side, coming a lot closer to the side of Ace. But the more they rush over to the northern, they still have First Raiders. They also have Geekfam. They also have Goddess. What is going on in the northeastern side of this map? Purgatory. As we do have Zack and show you all left for themselves. First Raiders currently eliminated inside of the houses and trying to reside themselves in. As we do have Team Ace went straight in, completely wiped them all out. Lao Kronos gets himself on to show you. This pretty much means that it's going to be left with 2 members side from the side of Geekfam. As Noda pushes all the way onto the rock, he gets a piece down. The glue wall was not able to help him out at all. ETA gets one down. Geek completely eliminated at all. And now even Evil Divine has went down by the hands of I think it's going to be Phoenix Force at this moment in time. And now they are all slowly getting themselves into the circle. And well, Phoenix Force, they are still at the other parts of the island, and Silence is still eating the storm.
Yeah, he's eating it right now. Loud right now are in a massive skirmish right now. They need to kind of figure things out. Things are very tight. Their ace is just room to room. He's looking. Will's looking to get flanked right there. He does need to be careful. Noda needs to run in. Khan has already been knocked down. So it's going to be a 3-on-3 right now in the building. It's going to be so tight. Will looking around. Glue walls galore. I can't see anything.
You can't see anything. I can't see anything. You can see anything. No one can see, and thus I will not die. And that is the motto of the side of Loud. As long as they get the glue walls out, or maybe even the time tunnels out, things are gonna be looking pretty darn good. As Tiki himself is just gonna go straight down. Carlos is gonna be the last man remaining. He's definitely want to bring down the last remaining players of the side of Loud, especially since they are still only surviving just a sliver of health, while Carlos, he is very healthy after all 200 hit points. As he rocks it all with the Vector Akimbo. He rocks it all with the Vector Akimbo. 1v2. He tries to just bring Tiki up. He manages to do that. But unfortunately, Noda came in the right nick of time to try to bring him down. And there we go. Team Ace gets himself with 1 kill from that last straggling player. And that is going to be Team Ace completely eliminated.
Loud with a nice play there. Gets a decent amount of kills. But they took some heavy damage themselves. They've only got 2 players left. Will and Noda, those are the only ones. Jaffa right here just doing some reign of terror on HQ. And their Nobru does get a nice little knock. HQ Esports are in a bad spot as they're getting shot.
This is going to be the firing squad coming from the side of Fluxo, right? They are at the top of this ridge. They know exactly where HQ Esports is. While Phoenix Force and Cruz, he managed to get a kill down to HQ Esports as well. There is 2 teams that is just looking down right at HQ Esports. This is madness. HQ Esports, where are they supposed to go?
Yeah, I don't think you really have any room. I mean, but that circle is so tight. Phoenix Force are still around. HQ Esports as well, but Fluxo, like they're all spread around. Right now is Loud. You got to stick as 2. You got to be super careful. BTS right now, they've been eliminated.
Phoenix Force, though, they are at the top 4 already, and they are just getting themselves kills after kills, man. And this is consistency at its finest. But in the meantime, we're also going to be looking at Fluxo. It's just completely jumping around top of this rock formation. Gets 1 headshot and right onto Artemis. And that is the complete end. Onto the side of HQ Esports. Phoenix Force, they ain't gonna get nothing of that. They want to move right in with only 3 teams left. With Fluxo, 3 members, Loud, 2 members. Phoenix Force, they are happy to take this fight. They are happy to just jump onto one team, bring them all down, and try to be the champion again. to get themselves the booyah. Well, the question is, will they be able to do that? Because Fluxo, they're only going to be left with Nobru, the star player that you're talking about, the last player of FX. He had to make his way in. He had to just get all the medkits in. But unfortunately, there goes the Groose. The grenade popped in their faces, and now it's going to be Laugh Out Loud, completely eliminated again by Phoenix Force as they get themselves the 3 consecutive kills, 3 consecutive win, 3 consecutive booyah.
This is not funny anymore. This is serious. As I say that Phoenix Force have just trumped over every single one of these teams here in the FFWS 2021, whereby it doesn't seem like it's a competition for them anymore.
Actually, it's funny because in that game, in that match, they actually played it very passively. They had only 2 kills going in when there was about 5 teams left. They were playing it completely passively, but the thing is that they didn't take any unnecessary fights and necessary damage. They had 4 players maximum as they were going into the top 3, teams left. So they were in prime position. Everybody had killed themselves, and they were just like, all right, clean up aisle 7.
And that is literally what pretty much happened, right? They were trying to get themselves into the in between of Fluxo at the last few moments of the time, and Fluxo, they had actually got a lot of kills. I believe that they have a total of 6 kills to their name.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Nobru, the last man standing, he had the circle right behind of him. There's really nowhere that he could go except for just healing himself up inside the circle while he just observes the opponents from his right side.
But at this stage of the game, with the number of kills that Phoenix Force has gotten, plus the 3 booyahs,
yes,
I find it very difficult for them to be unseated at this point. Like, this is going to be like somebody, like everybody and their moms right now need to be like, hey, we need to figure out how to deal with Phoenix Force. Everybody needs to target them. We need to figure this out.
Yeah, because at this moment in time, right, 3 consecutive booyahs, and we only have 3 games done. We still have 3 more games to go. It is very hard for them to lose the first place unless they lose at 12th place and 11th place for the next 3 games combined.
Yes, it's going to be crazy. But hey, the Brazilian teams, big props to them. They really showed up, at least in match 3. They got, Phoenix Force, of course, 18 points for them. Loud got 16, Fluxo 14, Silence with a nice, great showing with the most kills, at least in the match, with 8. But they got 14 points. HQ Esports with 9 and so on. But hey, this is kind of turning things around. You got to be consistent. You got to be top 5, top 3, just staying in there. You can't be knocked down like what happened with, First Raiders of Burst of Sky here. 0 points, very difficult to even come back.
The Brazilian teams are starting to step up, if you ask me. With Loud on 2nd place and Fluxo in 3rd place, they kind of know what they want to go for now. And of course, the final standings, we are going to be looking at Phoenix Force
with a total of 64 points to their name. Silence with a total of 44 points to their name, which is a considerable amount on top of Team A's. And that is going to be 15 points below of Team Silence, and that is total of 29 points to them. Fluxo, 26. They're not too far away from the top. And Loud with 26 as well. These two Brazilian teams, I think that they're pulling the same thing again. This is LBFF 2.0.
Yeah, but like third place Team Ace versus the 9, I think it was HQ at that point, but they're just so close. I mean, okay, big props to the crews here for getting 3 kills. That's your MVP for Phoenix Force. They didn't get a whole lot of kills in that last match, but when you're getting booyahs, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they kind of know, right? They gotten themselves with 2 booyahs in a row, and at this point in time, they don't need to run all the way out there endangering themselves just for kills, because if they constantly get themselves to podium, they secure themselves the first place. Well, Skyrix though, he got himself a total of 6 kills from Silence. Wow.
Yeah, and with 4, Carlos again, he was the killer, of course. Like all of these teams are doing well. Phoenix Force wasn't even in the top 3 there, but they're able to survive, right? Yep. So it's a very smart play because you know the position that you're in, right? And a big shout out to our sponsor at ROG, the phone and the headsets, both official gaming gear of FFWS 2021. Without them, of course, we would not have had any of this, I mean, in terms of a sponsor. So it's been great to have all of the players playing with those phones.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that all these players are absolutely loving the phone, and they can't exactly hear us shouting our hearts out because of the headphones that they are using. Once again, thank you so much to ROG for the sponsorship of their official merchandise over to FFWS. And now we have concluded the first half of the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021. I am very, very excited for the second half, because the second half is what is going to decide who is going to be the winner. Is it really going to be Phoenix Force, or are we going to be looking at someone that completely trumps over them? That is something that you guys will have to find out after a short break.
Você sabe o difícil, cara. Pô, não sei responder isso não, sim.
لما بحثت على اسمي في جوجل وجدت ان كل الاساطير اسمهم شادو.
La dedicación es lo más importante que estaria.
O que me manteve ocupado nesses dias de quarentena que a gente passou foi os treinos, a resenha no Discord, assistindo um anime, um filme com a galera, e foi isso. Só isso mesmo.
Dengan saya nak pergi, saya nak jalan di Kak Mall sini.
هذا كان لدي قوة خارقة سوف أزيد في الدماج الأصفر.
Dapat pergi ke final FIFA World Series.
الشيء اللي يجعلني نضحك هو كي نقتل سكواد وحدي سولو سكواد.
La verdad hay un jugador que está cursando los play-in con Portugal que se llama Crusher. Es un jugador que la verdad tiene mucho potencial y me gustaría acercarme a él para aprender más de cómo es su jugabilidad.
Skill dan strategi adalah kombinasi yang sangat penting.
Yes, I know you see. I do believe that some things might be destiny. I do believe that I'm gonna get the best on me. I know you can't see, but I'll be on top. Team name tag on every spot.
Going in, all in, everything on the line. Everyone wants to shine. I'm going in, all in. I got my crew right behind. We were down for the win.
Hello and welcome back to Free Fire World Series 2021. This is Singapore. My name is Huller and this is Abstract, and we've seen just a train of Phoenix Force just destroying everything in its path.
It's quite a train wreck, if you ask me. Things are starting to go in the way of Phoenix Force, probably because they are rocking the ROG phone and of course the ROG headsets, the official gaming gear of FWS 2021, by the way. And of course, well, Phoenix Force, they are just flooring it.
Yeah, I mean, they're completely dominating at this point, right? I have a hard time with any of the other teams. Silence is definitely number 2, and they're kind of in there, and then you have pretty much everyone else, right? So, which is very worrying, especially in this stage of the game. We've only seen one half of play.
Pretty much everyone else. I kind of like how you got to put it on there. Because the rest of the teams, unfortunately, they haven't really quite placed themselves in the spotlight just yet. Because Phoenix Force is just like, shine on me, shine on me, shine on me, 3 times in a row kind of thing, you know? You know, as much as I want to see Phoenix Force dominating the games, I kind of want to see other people shine as well.
But this is the thing, is that Phoenix Force has done such a good job of just staying alive, right? And they're definitely in it when they need to fight. They haven't taken any unnecessary risks. They've been able to win all of the firefights. Every move that they've made has been calculated so far. When you've got 3 Booyahs, it makes it very easy to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much knows what they want to do. But having them all the way at the top for 3 games in a row, it kind of helps us to understand who is the most consistent throughout it all. And of course, Phoenix Force being the top one, and the second place will go to Silence, because the first place will never change, and first place is like 12 points, so there will be a staggering amount of difference from first to second, and that is like 3 points by itself. So Silence coming up next at second place. They are constantly getting less than 12 points in terms of placement. That means that they are getting a decent amount of kills in these past 3 games.
And as crazy as it sounds, Silence is actually 20 points behind Phoenix Force.
Yikes.
Right? Let's put that in perspective. The next 3rd place is going to be 29 points, which is a huge gap even from Silence.
That's 15 points, man. But 15 points is not far away at all, and I must say this. But before we jump into the next game, we've got a head-to-head between these 2 Brazilian teams, Fluxo as well as Loud, because their points per game is similar.
their kills per game is slightly a little bit different, right? Because Fluxo, they have got a total of 3.7 kills per game, and of course, we've got, Loud with 3.3 kills per game, which is actually the same-ish, if you kind of round it off.
Actually, it's the same as it gets. They're both 4th and 5th in the sense of they're tied right now. They both have 26 points apiece. So that's, neck and neck as it can get.
That's LBFF 2.0 once again. I would be amazed if by the end of game number 4, they are still the same points.
Yeah. But here's the thing: they need to step up even more.
They need to,
right? They need to get to 3rd. They need to make me proud because I called for them, right? Like I predicted these guys. I thought that they were the strongest one, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see Silence. Silence, I hope that you guys take it away, as this is going to be game number 4 here in Bermuda.
And it looks like the ship is going to go straight from northwest to southeast. And it looks like the planes of, the teams have already landed. Loud, of course, in the north. No surprise there. Silence, though, that's the one that we need to kind of look on. Is in the north, as well as, where's Phoenix Force? It looks like they're going to be more towards the south in the clock tower.
Here's an interesting thing for you to know. Well, EVOS Divine, they are in the same spot as game number 1. Loud, they are in the same spot as game number 1. And of course, Silence, they are in the same spot in game number 1. The one thing that has changed is, of course, GeekFam. They did not meet the opponents that they dreaded in the previous game, but this time, they're meeting Goddess. They're meeting Goddess! And Geek, they are once again gonna be starting game number 4 inside of Bermuda with a hard drop together with another team, with Yuan being the first one to be knocked down, the first one to be eliminated. Bruce is gonna be next up in the kill list, and we are gonna be looking at the next one that will head down indefinitely, and that is 2 men from Goddess that has already been eliminated. Geek is definitely gonna be happy with these 2 early kills.
That's a great start, and this is the kind of thing that you need to you hope for, right? A little bit of momentum, those easy kills, get yourself in, into the groove of the game. Like I feel like GeekFam hasn't had that opportunity to kind of just play the field, let things come to them.
In the meantime, Zach,
This is the kind of thing that you need to you hope for, right? A little bit of momentum, those easy kills, get yourself in, into the groove of the game. Like I feel like GeekFam hasn't had that opportunity to kind of just play the field, let things come to them.
In the meantime, Zach, they are just trying to do whatever that they can to just trying to bring down the rest of Team Goddess, because they know that this is probably the momentum that you're talking about, that they are talking about as well. They want to eliminate Goddess away from the competition just so that, well, they just kind of put themselves at home at 12th place. In LGDS, boy oh boy, is this a bad start. It's kind of like how GeekFam started in game number 1, but regardless, it's not the same thing that will happen to GeekFam now. They have learned their lesson, they know how they should be tackling against their adversaries, and this is going to be how it is.
Yeah, and look at EVOS. They're kind of neck and neck, or they're tied up with Loud right now.
Wow.
I mean, Loud is on the high ground right now, so it looks like a very interesting time for EVOS. I don't know if they're going to get away, because the 2 teams are scattered within each other.
Loud, though, they are playing in a very bold manner. They have decided to head themselves into the birthplace of where EVOS Esports is, because EVOS Divine, they dropped in the observatory, and while Loud jumped into Graveyard. So Loud, they just want to get a piece of this tiger, and well, maybe it is time for us to press play.
Yeah, I think it's about time for that. I mean, we're going to see what Noda can do. He's actually very happy on top of the roof, just looking for somebody, just trying to peek over. Evils, on the other hand, are skirting away. They don't want any piece of this.
Well, I don't think that it is going to be the case, though, because Will, he's just going to be holding himself down, holding himself up at the bottom of this little platform. They did manage to bring a really nice shot down to Sam, and of course, an eliminate as well. As Noda and Kronos, they took themselves at the high ground, completely wiped EVOS Divine from absolutely nowhere, blindsided them with 2 kills to the name of Noda. EVOS MRO5 as well as Abu, they're stuck in this small little corner. The only thing they can work with is a little bit of this glue wall, 1 versus 1. Well, that Vector Gimbal definitely did quite a number on the side of EVOS Divine, and there we go! EVOS Divine, who would have thought that they would be eliminated at 12th place?
What a great grenade by Kane right there. Just completely just cleaning them out. I mean, they didn't really have anywhere to go, let's be honest. They trapped themselves in the corner with the glue walls, and they were trying to do what they could, but my gosh, like, what a great turn of events for Loud to start this match.
This is definitely not something that EVOS Divine is looking for. They were one of the best teams that I dare say, but having them knock down this early in match number 4, man, it is going to be quite a crushing defeat to them, and unfortunately the tilt may happen. This is going to be putting them in such a low morale, and they are going to be, well, less confident, and that is going to compound onto them.
Alright, okay, you know the sister quote-unquote company, EVOS Phoenix Force, is kind of laughing a little bit like, tee like EVOS, our big brother died. We're going to take the name in the next tournament.
Yeah, too bad. You will be the next Phoenix Force kind of thing. We steal the name back kind of thing, you know. Well, Phoenix Force, while we're talking about them, the crew is just going to be starting the fight off right onto Iron Souza. Unfortunately, Iron Souza, he did manage to jump right out. He almost got a shot down on the crew, but for some reason, the crew did not go down at all. 2 of the members coming in from the side of Phoenix Force is pretty much knocked down, as Take Long, as well as the crews. The both of them knocked down. Joanna as well as Rumble is going to be the 2 last remaining members coming in from Phoenix Force. Please, will they finally go down here? Are they going to be going back with only 0 placement points? This is the biggest question, my God! As we've got Umbak coming in from First Raiders, knocked down as well. It's going to be left with Joker and Phoenix Force. They managed to hold their own with only 1 member left. Phoenix Force, they had 3 members down, and just one member's required to stay alive to pick everyone back up on their feet, and they survived this encounter against First Raiders.
What a play by Rambo. Being able to, 3 were down, but he's like, by myself, I got a shotgun, I'm going to take everybody out.
Yo, Rambo!
And he picked everybody up. Nobody died. Nothing was lost. And Phoenix Force, and this is the powerhouse that we've been talking about. This is why they've got 3 booyahs in a row.
Well, maybe not 3 booyahs anymore. Maybe it's gonna be 4 booyahs, 5 booyahs. I am just overestimating them at this point in time because it seems like anything could happen to them, man. I have so much confidence in them. They are so happy. Once they managed to wipe out the adversary, once they managed to wipe out First Raiders, they were shouting, they were yelling. They are so happy.
Yeah, and prediction-wise, I called Phoenix Force as the #1 team, right? I said that, right?
Yeah, totally.
Check the tape.
Yep, I will. But well, for the side of Silence though, they managed to put themselves nicely in 2nd place. They have yet to make any noise as they are, well, pretty silent, as they are now inside of the northern side mill, right? No one is around them as we have got quite a lot of fight in Graveyard, and Loud has made their way towards the center of the circle. The way that Silence is moving up, the only time that they will fight against anyone is by the next circle.
Yeah, they're going to have to do that quick, though. And it looks like there's going to be a little bit more action, especially in the mid area. Look at Pochnik. Like, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have my abacus, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 right there. 5 teams in the middle. It's going to happen. Very hot and heavy. Rambo already on the train, looking for more kills.
This is going to be the next encounter for the side of Phoenix Force. They have a total of 4 kills. Are they going to make it into a 5? Yes, they will. The new kill leader will be going over to the side of Phoenix Force as they manage to trample against one of their opponents. And of course, Shadow knocked down, eliminated. Rambo goes down to the hands of Joe. Will that gonna be the end of Take Long as well? Yes, it will be. As the Cruz and Joanna, they are gonna be fighting themselves at this small little pinch once again. As we have Tarek and Shadow. Tarek's left actually, no longer on the Shadow. 2v1. This is another near-death scenario that Phoenix Force is gonna get themselves into as the Cruz turns around in a 180 degrees turn. They styled on their opponents. Another encounter won by Phoenix Force with a total of 8 kills.
4-0. They didn't lose anyone again. Yes, people got knocked out, but nobody can close these guys out. It's like they're the Terminator. How do you deal with this guy?
I have absolutely no idea. They kind of just muted everyone else in this match because they are so hard. They're just doing whatever that they can to bring themselves kills. But you know what? We still have to feature the other teams because Fluxo right now alongside with Team Ace, they have brought down GeekFam. Hazik is now dead. Apiz is the last member remaining, but do note that these two teams, they are not playing together. They have to bring one person down, and Team Ace was definitely going to be the one on the receiving end just within 10 seconds. 2 teams knocked out, Team Ace and GeekFam, as Fluxo came right on and, well, third party the heck out of that.
Yeah, and they killed the Carlos there, who was the 2020 MVP of FFL. That was a pretty big win, and Fluxo kind of, they're still sticking with it, right? They've been a lot more stable. They had a terrible match 1, but other than that, they've kind of picked things up and they've got themselves back in the game. Nonetheless, Phoenix Force, though, they did lose 1 player, so it looks like they've got 3. Well, let's see what happens later on.
Well, I don't know about this though. Phoenix Force, if they actually lose 1 player,
I think they
did they?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think they did.
And oh my god. So maybe this is a time that Phoenix Force is not gonna get themselves. Booyah, we never know, you know. We never know. But for now, we're just gonna be focusing ourselves right onto the map as we are looking at a map that just is going to be covering the entirety of Bimasati Strip, looking at Clock Tower, Factory, Pochanok, as well as Peak. Well, Phoenix Force, they are at the bottom side of the peak, right? They are right by the bottom of the slope. So they're pretty comfortable right where they are, and whatever that they do, they cannot get themselves into any action because they should know that they are on a man disadvantage.
Okay, this is the prime position for Silence now to make a move, right? When you have that advantage, any sort of numbers advantage is going to be pretty huge. Silence need to get this booyah. They need to get some kills. They haven't seen anybody. They have 0 kills at 11 minutes. Very worrying for the second place team.
Yeah, I mean, they gonna have to step up. But, you know, there's still 7 teams remaining. There's still 25 players left, of course, counting themselves out. There's 21 players that they can potentially kill. But of course, they can't take everyone else out. I can imagine that they will be able to get like maybe 8 kills in the very event that they get themselves into the booyah status. But well, I'm just gonna leave that foresight up until later, as we should talk a little bit more about the choke zone, the choke areas, and of course, who is definitely gonna be meeting whom. Silence, they are definitely going to be meeting against Loud, as the way that they are walking is just going to be going to the southern side of Bimasati Strip, while Loud, they are happily holding themselves up inside of these houses. And Loud, they even one of their players, Noda, you can pretty much see on the screen right here, he have put himself right in the middle here onto the electrical tower, which if you ask me, is not a very good place to be. If you want to join forces with the rest of his teammates here by Loud, then it is going to be a long stretch. If he's going to be caught out, it's bad.
Yeah, Noda there, he's the scout, right? He was kind of just getting a little bit of intel. He saw them, and now he's going to run back and stick with the team. Very smart play, completely disengaged, didn't take any damage, so they're in a prime position to hopefully take on Silence as they make their way through.
Yeah, I mean, Loud, they are going to be on a defensive position. Whatever they do, they just need to ensure that Silence don't break into their house. But even if they do, they should still have some defensive strategies to work for themselves. Because Silence, whenever they want to go for a fight, they are going to be executing it without holding back. None of the punches pulled, right? And don't pull up any punches. And they just want to go for the kills, I believe. And if they are just kind of holding themselves up so much, they're definitely going to be having one person back behind as kind of like support to be the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, and Loud don't need to be aggressive. They know where the circle is. So basically they're saying, Silence has to come south or they need to go all the way around. Loud right now, just stick to the buildings and they're kind of doing the scouting. Oh, what a nice shot. And he knocks down VG.
And just like that, they did manage to get a 1-up on top of the side of Silence, and because of that one knockdown, they managed to get themselves rushing right inside the face of Silence. And just like that, Vashney immediately get knocked down and immediately executed. And Silence, they already have lost the manpower that they wanted. They do not have any more of that count. But on the flip side, it does seem like things are starting to get a little bit more crazy over here. With Will is going to be working together with Noda, while Silence is going to be left with Didi as he hides himself behind the electrical tower. There's really nothing much he can do. He can't exactly run into the face of Skyrix and try to pick him up, as Noda is making full use of his glue wall, making full use of the third party perspective in order to watch out where Didi is going, and thus there is no way that Didi can save his friend. The best thing that he can do is try to find a way into the circle, which is going to be proved to be very, very difficult.
Oh, but Silence, he's down to the last man right now, just kind of staying alive, doing what he can. And again, this is worrying as a second place team. They're the only ones that get a chance against Phoenix Force. And Loud have been like, all right, we're going to continue to play. We're going to be stable, right? You've seen the change of pace in terms of what the previous matches have been, and we've seen Loud just kind of stabilize their gameplay.
I have no idea how this is going to be like, but if Silence is just going to be completely knocked down here, then this is going to be a free game for the side of Phoenix Force, because the way that they are playing right now is they are just tromping over the opponents. But in the meantime, we've got Goddess that have been eliminated as well. The circle is closing in. It's converging over to the center of the circle, right close to where the blimp is ending at. While BTS, they're continuing their movement, continuing their force over to the anti-clockwise direction right in front of Fluxo. While Kandem is a little bit too far ahead, if you ask me, or rather too far behind. He gotta have to catch up with the rest of his team coming in for BTS if they really want to continue this initiation against Fluxo.
Bio there with a massive, massive grenade. That was a perfect Kobe. He just kind of threw that over the blue wall, and the Cruise is just turning it up right now.
What the heck is Phoenix Force doing at this moment in time? They are, even though they have one member down, they are still getting themselves kills after kills, and Fluxo coming in from behind. Phoenix Force, they're not expecting it. They're only caring about the very fact that they have to fight against BTS, and Rambo gets himself a total of 4 kills to his name. Well, Phoenix Force, they're going down.
They have everything. Silence has been eliminated as well. Phoenix Force are still in command here. They still have 3 players still left alive, and Neo now is just trying to get some shots in. That's going to be a tough shot to make.
This is insane, man. This is absolutely insane. HQ Esports, though, they have the upper hand because they have 4 members remaining inside the circle, while their opponents, Loud, with only 3 members left, BTS with only 1 member left, and not to forget, Phoenix Force with 3 members left. Even the fact that Phoenix Force only has 3 members, they cannot underestimate them. The firepower is outstanding, and HQ Esports, all they gotta do is hold themselves up behind glue walls, try to pick the opponents down as much as possible, as Rambo, literally Rambo, with the time turner, pushes himself closer and closer over to Loud.
Oh my gosh, and they're so close. They're going to face with Loud. Loud does get the nice knock out of the Cruiser, and that's going to be a massive win for them. Can they get anybody else?
This is going to be Joanna as well as Rambo. The duo fighting against Loud. 2v3. But hold on a second. HQ Esports, they are still around the vicinity. They are definitely not going down at this point of time just yet. As Phoenix Force, Joanna. He's going to get himself picking up on Rambo. 2 of them still alive. Brings 2 down. And still going to be looking at the next one. As Chrono's going to be the last man remaining coming from the side of Loud. And of course, Phoenix Force gets themselves yet another win.
They get themselves a win and they get back into the circle. And now they've been eliminated. Neo now gets the nice shot, but I don't know how many kills. Yes, he got the booyah, but nonetheless, I don't know if that was enough.
You know what? Even despite the fact that they did not get a booyah, it is still HQ Esports that gets themselves the booyah.
Congratulations to HQ Esports for that booyah, but they somehow ended up outlasting Phoenix Force, but they ended up getting second place.
Yeah, well, for HQ Esports, they decided, you know what, we're just gonna hang back, let Phoenix Force do whatever they want to do, let Loud do whatever they want to do, let them kind of kill themselves one another. Because HQ Esports, they just want to go for the gold. They just want to go for the booyah. And speaking of gold, ROG phone and ROG headsets is indeed gold in my eyes. They are the official gaming gear for the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021. So make sure you drop them a like and of course take a look at what ROG has got to offer.
Yeah, and speaking of likes, how can they find you on social media?
Well, you can find me as such abstract if you kind of like all the shouting that whatever we have been doing. But if you do like some dad jokes, I'm pretty sure that @HoloTV has got quite some good ones for you.
Yeah, feel free to do that, and thank you so much for that. But hey, it's all about the players here. It's about the Free Fire World Series and all that. And we've seen Silence. I think they were 5th place or something. We'll have to see the exact number. But I mean, Phoenix Force, like they got 3 booyahs in a row, and they are still being aggressive and still being in your face and outgunning everybody.
Yeah, you know what? At this point in time, Phoenix Force, they are just they can. I'm pretty confident that they can hear me, because in game number 3, match number 3, I said that Phoenix Force, they don't have to push for the kills. They just want to go for the placement points. And here we go, looking at Phoenix Force going for a team fight. And then going for a team fight again. And then going for another team fight again. Over and over again, always winning by the skin of their teeth. And they have gotten and racked up a total of 14 kill points, putting themselves at the top of the leaderboard scale for match number 4 with a total of 23 points.
That is so crazy if you think about it, right? HQ Esports, they were kind of passive and they only got the last 2 kills at the very, very end. They didn't really have much. They were just looking to outlast everybody, and they did get the booyah, but I don't know if that's enough points. You really need to start racking up kills. You need to be aggressive. If we're looking at the standings now, Phoenix Force. A mountain, a king among kings. 87 points, Silence at 51. Do they even have a chance to come back?
They do still have a chance, provided that the fact that Phoenix Force, they fumble over the next 2 games. And the very fact that I'm looking at how dominating Phoenix Force is right now, I cannot imagine them fumbling at all. No way.
There's no way. I have a hard time seeing that too, but they need to get, donuts in the next 2 games, right? Get eliminated 11-12 right off the bat, because that's pretty much the only way. Then you might have a chance. But Silence, number 2, now their lead is kind of a little bit shaky here, but HQ Esports, the MVP with just 2 kills.
Well, 2 kills indeed, but it's okay, because they are just looking for that booyah. The booyah is important, and in the very event that they have to decide at where they stand because of tiebreaker, this booyah is gonna come in handy, because 3 booyahs are given away like free over to the side of Phoenix Force. So in the event that you find yourself in a tiebreaker, you can be pretty sure that you win the tiebreaker.
Yeah, definitely. And look at the match kills. Rambo lives up to his name, gets 6 kills. The Cruise gets 5. Will gets 3 kills from Loud. I mean, Phoenix Force are killing you. They're dominating. They're outlasting teams, and they're outdueling them, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, this is just Phoenix Force saying that they are the bigger man. They are not gonna be stopping over anything at all. They will just bring you to the ground, punch you in the face, punch you in the guts, and make sure that you don't ever stand up again, because this is what they're showing me. They just want to win. They're here to win.
You talk about punching, but I didn't see any punching. I saw a lot of killing, and they did a great job, and that was just match 4. But we're going to see probably more Phoenix Force as we move on into match 5. That's coming up next.
3, 2, 1.
Pior que tudo me faz rir, velho. Eu sou um cara que ri de tudo. Se você fazer uma brincadeirinha comigo, eu já vou estar rindo. K1 7 mesmo. Quando tô K1, é só riso, velho. Só riso. Então, qualquer coisinha aí eu já tô rindo. Não tem o que fazer. Eu tô querendo rir toda a minha voz aqui.
我希望我可以知道甜蜜圈在哪里。
Ya paling menyenangkan ke saat ini ya bisa terbang ke sini ke Singapura buat wakilin Indonesia, buat mengharumkan nama Indonesia juga, berjuang buat Indonesia dan buat seluruh.
打得不够好，然后常常失误会让自己情绪崩溃吧。
Đối với em thì thành viên đồ nào nhất trong team đó chính là Neo, vì Neo có một cái tâm lý bắn rất là tốt và call team rất là hay, nên là cần phải nói rất là nhiều, nên là em nghĩ là Neo là người nói nhiều nhất trong team.
Bareng-bareng sama tim bawa piala FFVS.
Sát cánh cùng đồng đội ạ. Và bước tới giải FF FIFA World Series này ạ. 应该只有自己吧。
Welcome back to Free Fire World Series 2021. This is Singapore. My name is Huller, and this is Abstract. And we just saw, what, 4 matches, crazy amounts of action, a lot of killing, a lot of deaths. Who's coming out on top?
Well, if you guys have no idea who's on top, something is wrong. Because Phoenix Force has been blazing their way through with their ROG phones and ROG headsets, which of course is the official gaming gear of FFWS 2021. But they have been blazing with these phones and headsets, and they are just getting right on top of everyone else in the lobby. If they're not getting the booyahs, which happens to be previous game only, by the way,
Yep.
they're getting themselves an ample amount of kills.
I don't know if this is the luckiest team in the world right now, or they're just outskilling everybody. Because even Rambo, when he was left by himself, 3 people were knocked. How were none of those people killed, and Rambo still left to kill everybody else and to res everybody?
I mean, at this point in time, it kind of feels as though like everyone else is just but fodders for Phoenix Force. But we all know that all these teams, they are so darn good.
Yeah.
So what exactly is happening? This really feels like the point in time whereby you're playing an FPS. You're literally playing like Free Fire, and then you face an opponent, and once you come out by the corridor, you immediately get knocked down within less than 1 second. While your friend, who is a complete new player, turns around the corner and he don't die for 5 seconds. That kind of thing that happens, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where if you knock the guy, you might as well finish the job and help the rest of the team at this point, right?
Yes.
Whenever you see Phoenix Force go down, you just got to focus on them. Everybody needs to arrow them, make sure that they take them out, right?
Yep. So that is a very good strategy, right? Because so far, whatever all these teams have been doing is that, yo, I knock you down, I don't have to care about you because you are not a threat to me right now. So they don't think about, oh, I knock you down, I want to go for this point, I want to go for this kill right now, and they are Phoenix Force. We need to shut them down now. If not me, then whom?
Yeah, and when I play shooters, if I knock the guy down, I'm going to do everything to kill that guy. I'm going to go tunnel vision on that guy because I don't really care. I just want to trade at least because I'm not good at these games, right?
I would agree. I would add in a special flair onto it and just kind of crouch up and down, up and down, up and down, you know.
Okay, you're one of those teabaggers. I get it. I get it.
You know,
I get it.
you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like the most subtle flex of I am better than you.
Is it really that subtle?
No.
I don't even think it is.
Nope,
I think it's a little disrespectful. And I think, I think I should talk to your mom about this because this is actually unnecessary.
Not my mom, please.
She will definitely yell at you. Nonetheless, we are in match 5 now. We've seen so much action. This is going to be Kalahari that's going to be coming up. The players are waiting in the wings to load into this one. But again, this is $2 million, $500,000 for first place, right? Second place gets $250,000. Third place, third and fourth place both get $100,000 each.
Yep.
So that is no small change.
Not
right?
at
so
all.
you got to fight at least for top 4.
Yes, this is $500,000 at in a line, you know. And at this moment in time, Phoenix Force, they are, even though they are kind of too far for you to reach, it is by no means impossible to get them back. You know, if you happen to land with Phoenix Force and you knock someone down or someone gets knocked down by Phoenix Force, you know that, okay, that opponent is Phoenix Force, should we either go for it or should we bail? And at this, right now, 2 more games left. I really think that it is not the time to bail because you need them out.
Yeah, you can't be going out. Phoenix Force right now, though, if I was in their shoes, I would be subtly flexing by just throwing dollar bills because I know I'm making it rain. Because I'm in the driver's seat, I know that there's nobody else that can even come close. I mean, there's a potential that as long as I don't get those donuts, right?
Yes. These donuts is not something that Phoenix Force is gonna be eating because they are gonna be reborn. Rebirth, the resurrection of the bird. And of course, this is the point in time, once again, I guess that they are going to be like, next tournament, we are taking Evos' name.
Yeah,
you know what? This is gonna be funny, you know? Right? I'm not say funny, but I think that this is gonna be like a great talking point, and of course, this is gonna be running down in history because this is the second time in a row Evos Divine and Phoenix Force came into the same competition, but the Indonesian team is the one that takes the Evos name.
Yeah,
twice in a row.
Okay, look, if we're looking at money alone, total earnings, Evos with their actual name right now, they have 180,000 in terms of money made through Free Fire, right? And the total earnings of that. Evos Phoenix Force, they've made 178,000, right? So that might be why they lost the name.
Yep.
But after tonight,
I think they are going to be holding on to the name for the longest time ever because that is $500,000 to the name. And man, oh man, Evos Divine is probably going to have to win a ton of tournaments in order to catch up to them.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to see how that one goes. But before we do, let's go into match 5. Let's go right now. The players have landed, and it looks like Loud have completely changed it up. That's the first one that sticks out to me. They're in the East. It's like I don't even know this team anymore.
What is going on? Did someone change the phone or something? Because Loud, like you said, they're in Santa Catarina, not in Shines or like literally anywhere in the northern side, and that is a big thing for me. But you know what? We're gonna be putting our eyes right on top of Geek Fam as they are going to be meeting against Team Goddess for 2 times in a row here in Stone Ridge.
I mean, their strategy must be the same in the sense of just landing in the same area. I mean, again. But I'm Souza with some nice plays there, and Shoyo just kind of outlasting Roro.
Yeah, I mean, Geek Fam, they just got to do the same thing that they did just now. And that is a guaranteed first blood onto the heads of Geek Fam. As now Team Goddess, they are going to be left with 3 members, and all of the members from Geek Fam, they're slowly converging right onto the hearts of Team Goddess, and that is not going to be good as Azak take himself that easy knockdown onto ETA.
Yeah, and Zach here on the high ground gets some shots on Bruce. Nice knock there. He's looking for the second one onto Yuan. Okay, they got the shield up, and they're trying to just trade here. Haziq does go down, though, and they do end up getting that kill.
This is sad, even though they did manage to bring down one entire team, and that is going to be LGDS, Team Goddess. They, unfortunately, did not come out of that completely unscathed, as Haziq, he himself is eliminated, and that's great from the side of Team Goddess, right? They instantly went for the, kill him.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, they got the 4 kills, right? I would trade Haziq for 4 kills.
I would too.
But, I don't know how Haziq would feel about that.
I mean, I'll trade him for 1. I'll trade you for 1 any day.
Really? Just 1?
I mean, okay, I'll be a little...
Maybe 2, come on.
Okay, 2, yeah.
All right, thanks.
2 is fine,
yeah. I still feel terrible.
Yeah. But for now, we'll see if whether there is any more sacrifices that Geek Fam is going to make in this right now, because the way that they are playing right now is that the only place that they can go is to head up north, or maybe even head out to the western side. Northern side, Santa Catarina, they are going to be meeting up with Loud or even Team Ace. Alternatively, they can just go on diagonally by heading into Command Post, which is where Phoenix Force is. And, well, right now, meeting against Phoenix Force, not the best idea.
All right. HQ Esports, they were the winners of the last match, and they're doing kind of the same thing of this like passive possum style where they're kind of all the way in the west. What are your thoughts on this strategy?
Well, awesome possum, if you ask me.
Okay.
Slow and steady, but you know what's not slow and steady? This fight between Loud as well as Team Ace.
Yeah, they're turning it up, and Carlos is actually going down. Naruto gets knocked as well, and Loud are just cleaning it up. They're turning it on, and Naruto's looking to fight this, but Ace is eliminated. Loud is on point.
Team Ace completely eliminated next to Team Goddess. 2 teams already eliminated, and if you ask me, that is pretty darn early. Loud with 3 kills to their name, they should be pretty darn happy with whatever that they have gotten. Next, it is definitely going to be looking for be able to overtake Fluxo and put themselves in the podium finish for now. But you know, the next one that they should have in their eyes is to bring down Silence.
Okay, one good thing about playing in the play-ins is that you have a lot of repetitions, right? You get to play more games. You get to play against the top tier stuff, and you continue to refine your strategy in the play. And we're seeing just this Loud team is starting to peak. It's starting to get better, and we're seeing the evolution and the growth of that team.
And Loud, yes, we have been through with him. It kind of seems as though we are building up a narrative for them, right? His forces. I'll still say that coming in from the playoffs and ending in the podium is definitely one heck of a big achievement.
Yeah, that would be pretty massive. And, you know, I was rooting for the Brazilian teams. They're kind of been consistent. Loud is really stepping up right now, so it's making me happy and not sound like a fool, so I'm very grateful to them.
And right now, it is still going to be the shrinkage of the first circle. The game is still in its, infancy stage. 7 minutes and 30 seconds has elapsed, and that is all, with only 9 teams remaining. This is the point in time whereby it kind of seems like a repeat of the play-ins because we've only 9 teams remaining, and this is the kind of circle that's happened. Except that, you know, ironically, the finals is actually a lot more hectic than the play-ins itself.
Yeah, of course. I mean, with the 12 different teams that you're going to see. But hey, look at this. I mean, the fact that there's, 3 teams completely eliminated and there's only Hazik that has died and everybody's at full strength, this could end up in some serious fireworks later on.
Serious fireworks. But for now, this is going to be the revelation of the second circle. It's just going to be converging onto the center of command post and just wrapping a little bit of refinery and the small little part of Stone Ridge that is going to be at the southeastern side and just the tip of the sub. And all in all, with the way that the players are moving, the teams are moving, we've got Silence all the way in the northern area slowly making their way downtown, and this is just the very safe play that they are adopting because the damage from the storm is very minuscule, and Evo's Divine is pretty much doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're not really afraid. I mean, it's just like what, the first circle or whatever.
It's meh.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just shake that off. We got the health. We got, that's nothing really to worry about. Let's get a little bit more utility. Make sure we've got those grenades when the circle gets smaller and, those glue walls are up and then we
that they cannot afford to take this fight against Fluxo, and thus 2 other members from BTS, they flew away and they are all safe.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I feel like this is the time you need to take the fight. You need to take that risk. Maybe they thought they were like, oh, this is probably not it. We don't like the positioning or the cover or whatever it was, but they just got on out of there. And that seemed, to me, very, very, I would say, chickenish.
No, that's kind of a little bit different.
That's a different animal.
But for now, you know what? Speaking of some cacaws, Evos, the tiger, is not cacawing their way through in here because Abu is receiving quite a bit of the damage from the side of BTS, and thus we can be pretty much sure that the way that they've relocated themselves
is great. But you know what? They definitely did not expect this, as we do have Fluxo doing the same damn thing as what BTS is doing. Flying right behind of them as Dark takes himself at the top of this container, tries to bring down the members coming from BTS because it's going to be left with Dark as well as Bill, and now Bill is left all alone. What can he do to fend against Evils as well as Fluxo? Nothing much, as now he's going to be slowly taking his stride downhill. He cannot take this fight at all, and just going to be pitting Fluxo against Evils, and now eyes up onto MRO5 as he picks up himself the SM10, 1015 or whatever, 10 something, 1014, and just completely wrecking havoc onto the side of Fluxo, as Sam is gonna be left all alone with a sliver of health. He would want to go for the execute. Is he gonna go for the execute? Yes, he will be, as we do have FAC. He's gonna be going in a 1v1, playing around the generator one by one, but no! Evil Divine! Unable to get himself the kill, unable to bring an end over to the side of Fluxo.
Yeah, they're barely alive though, but they took heavy damage on that one. That was one of those fights that like could have gone either way, but hey, this is the moment, right? Grand finals are going to happen. You're going to find the top tier in the sense that you're going to get killed. You're going to take a lot of damage. So this is why, in a way, if you're looking at Phoenix Force and just how they played, I mean, first right, Raiders right there just getting a nice shot there.
Indeed, indeed. And Phoenix Force, they are not gonna give the opponents any time to breathe. Geek Fam manages to find himself the last straggling player from the side of BTS, and that is going to be some easy one-pointer for Geek Fam. They should be pretty happy with where they are. They managed to survive themselves in the top 7 at this point in time, and they also have gotten themselves with a total of 5 kills, if I'm not wrong. But for, you know, Team Silence, they have been silent all the way through and through. One thing that I'm quite surprised is that they have decided to put Skyrex all the way at the top of the mountain, at the northwestern side of the map, and allow the rest of the team, Zamaro, as well as Vajni and Didi, just heading all the way to the western side of the map and slowly making themselves to the center, which is at the command post.
Oh, they actually got the knock on Will. What a nice shot by Didi here. They're just getting rained in parade cone, gets the return knock, and it looks like they're just going to shoot each other. The snipers on sniper action.
Zamaro is now eliminated. DD, he finds himself with a sliver of health, but he's just going to be getting himself the healing right back. And now, this is literally tower defense. We've got a lot of teams that are just going to be holding their ground here within of the command post. As we do have K1, he's holding it all in. He's trying to get a sniper rifle in and gatekeeping whatever that he can. Whoever is going to be on the top of the ridge, at the top of this pillar, at the top of this command post, they are happy to oblige and just going to be dealing and pushing all the less into the bodies of their enemies.
Yeah, they turn it up. Now is the time. No more room for any sort of mistakes. Trying to pick out as much as you can. Loud in this really nice position up here, and they're just getting some free reign in, and Geek has now been eliminated.
Unfortunately for them, indeed. But if you're pretty much going to be looking at how Loud has positioned themselves, they are in the best place possible. But coming down is definitely going to be a little bit of a problem, as Kronos did manage to get a knockdown right on top of Souza. But on the side of HQ Esports, we're looking at Funky M and Neo now being the last 2 members remaining. Fast forward, take a look at First Raiders, and they are left. They already lost Ombak, and I Am Souza is completely gone. Joker left with a sliver of health, completely knocked down by the play zone. Fast forward, look at Nobru as well. He cuts himself to everywhere. It's all around the map. Loud Noda, Loud Kronos doing what they can to try to gatekeep over at the western part of the circle.
Nobru with a quad kill. He's really turning it up here, but Phoenix Force, that is, they still have 3 players left. They're in great position right now. This circle is starting to hurt. Now, First Raiders just got eliminated.
Eliminated they are. First Raiders, we do have Darkhold that is outside the circle, or perhaps not anymore. We do have Loud, Noda, last man remaining. He's still up on top. He still have gotten himself that nice little corner. He still have got the verticality that he's looking out for. Tosses out the grenade, tries to go for easy kills, but unfortunately they are just not connecting. Noda pushes himself closer over to the containers and pushes himself down towards ground floor. His back is completely exposed over to Neo now. completely exposed over to the side of HQ Esports. Oh no, Fluxo actually. And now the crews coming in from the side of Phoenix Force as well as Rambo. The two of them is going to be the last two members remaining from the side of Phoenix Force. The crew is just going to be knocked down. Rambo is going to be the last man remaining. Gets himself one, but oh, there we go. We do have Fluxo just get whipping up his grenade launcher, blasting in his face. But somehow or another, HQ Esports gets themselves the second booyah.
From play-ins to the grand finals, HQ Esports gets their second booyah of the grand finals tournament. This is pretty crazy considering only 2 teams have gotten a booyah in this tournament.
Yeah, but you know what? They have been concerning themselves with the booyah, but they are not concerning themselves with the kills beforehand. So far, their strategy is the same. Play it safe all the way until the latest circle, and then if you are
HQ Esports gets their second booyah of the grand finals tournament. This is pretty crazy considering only 2 teams have gotten a booyah in this tournament.
Yeah, but you know what? They have been concerning themselves with the booyah, but they are not concerning themselves with the kills beforehand. So far, their strategy is the same. Play it safe all the way until the latest circle, and then if you are the top 3 left, let the 2 other teams fight it out against one another. Look, that is a great idea because that is what you want to do. You want to whittle down the opponent's forces and then you sweep up the kills of the 2 teams. But at HQ Esports, they were always a little bit too late to just snag those kills away. That is the best case scenario, right? To steal it all away.
Yeah, and let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, ROG Phone and the headsets, their official gaming gear of FFWS 2021. But back to your point in terms of just stealing stuff, I don't know if that's been unlucky or not, but you know, they haven't been able to do that. But getting booyahs, I mean, that's going to get you points, and that, I mean, you might not win.
Yep.
Especially with Phoenix Force's run, but I mean, there could definitely be top 5 at this point.
At this point in time, yeah, probably, but Phoenix Force, they are definitely gonna be hanging on to that first place because despite the fact that they did not get themselves that booyah, it's almost as though they still did.
Yeah, in a way. And so this is the thing, is that when you're that king, in the sense of, you know, Phoenix Force, everybody else, they can kill each other as long as they don't need to touch you, right? Yep. You're on your pedestal, you're this king on this throne kind of thing, where no one let the pedestrians kill each other, right? Like the poor or whatever. And I will just live in my ivory tower and no one will touch me.
Yeah, I mean, this is rather unfortunate for literally every single team out there, but I still want to see someone to completely take over Phoenix Force. I don't think it is possible.
I don't think mathematically it's
possible.
I don't know. We're going to have to see.
Yeah. You know what? We're just going to be jumping onto the standings first for the end of match number 5 with Fluxo being the one that have the highest points with a total of 21 points. Loud with a total of 18 points, followed by HQ Esports with a total of 13. While First Raiders 10, Phoenix Force with 10 as well. I'm actually rather happy that Phoenix Force is at 10 points here.
Yes, same here. But you saw that Fluxo and Loud, both of those teams were just super aggressive. They were making those kills, and they realized that they're behind. They need to get kills to get themselves back into it and just force whatever issue they can.
Despite the fact that Phoenix Force ended off with 3rd place, it does seem like their amount of kills did not carry them all the way through. And here we go. The end of match 5 rating. We have Phoenix Force all the way up on top with 97 points. Loud with 61. Fluxo 58. Silence 56. HQ Esports 49. They are all impeccably close.
Very, very close. Again, it's about, obviously everyone's getting money, so let's not cry anybody a river or whatever. But HQ Sports, the fact that they're in contention right now, they are a stone throw away from our last game of getting into that top 4 where you want that 100K.
And now, of course, the MVP over to Neo now. Despite the fact that he only gotten 1 kill for his team, I would believe that the rest of his team, they kind of only have 1 kill here and there as well. But Neo now, he definitely did some devastating damage over to the opponents. But back to the kill leaders though.
Nobru, 6 kills. FAC with 4 kills, Kronos with 3, and we talked about the Brazilians, the assassination teams, and the serial killers that they had, and they were just on a tear, and they just want to kill everybody, and that's going to continue into Game 6.
That is, an assassination coming from the side of Brazil, and they are, not gonna stop. They have managed to put themselves into the 2nd place as well as the 3rd place. They're pretty comfortable, and to beat 1st place, it's gotta take a lot of effort. But I believe that it was like 60 versus 90 or something along the lines. So that's 30 points. That's a lot of people to kill. But we're talking about the Brazilian teams. They are killing machines after all.
They are, but I don't know if they can get to 30, and that's the biggest issue right now, right? You gotta get Phoenix Force to get the donut, and then you kill 20 people, and then the booyah. I've seen the crazier things happen, so hopefully we'll see that in the Game 6 that's going to be coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the point in time that you have been waiting for. The last game, the deciding game of the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021 is upcoming here in Purgatory. But of course, before we even jump onto the game and perhaps even talk a little bit more about what we should be expecting and what we should be predicting, a quick shout out and thank you over to ROG for the sponsorship of the phones as well as the headsets for all of those players to use.
Yeah, and that's great to have throughout. And this is going to be match 6,
Match 6, yes.
Phoenix Force, with I think a 30-point-ish lead.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to do this. I see them. I turn around and I see them smiling because I know that they're.
Yeah, I mean they should be. They should be. But you know, there's this saying to never celebrate too early. Right?
I've never had that. I always celebrate early.
There's a lot of compilation that I've seen before in YouTube whereby there's like, don't celebrate early and then suddenly just, the game is over kind of thing.
Well, that happens, but I will still celebrate early. Like that will never go away.
Okay, you do you. So, I don't know, maybe someday we'll be able to prove you wrong somehow. Where?
No, I will enjoy it. I will always do it because I know when I'm leading, I will trash talk like no other. If I'm losing, I will trash talk like no other. At the end of the day, it doesn't change.
This is the point whereby I just head over to his Instagram and just BM him all the way.
All right. Well,
where can they find you though?
You can find me at Holler TV, and where can they find you, sir?
You guys can find me at Such Abstract. So in the event that you guys have enjoyed our commentary, you kind of enjoy the kind of personality that we have, you like this dad-son relationship kind of thing. You can just jump right in, take a look at our Instagram as well, and just maybe take a look at our stories, take a look at our posts, and find out how interesting of people that we are.
Yeah. By the way, we're not a father-son relationship. I just want to be very clear. That might be how we cast, but that is not what's going on because I would never have a son like this gentleman. I'm just saying.
Right. Silence. Exactly why I support silence. They are a bunch of great players. They are a great team, and they have reached my expectations, but not to the point of time where I thought that they will be able to beat all of their competitions, because honestly I see a lot in them, right? With 2 players coming in from the side of Benaya, I really thought that they stand a very high chance and very likely they will be able to beat like everyone, like floor it, like an elite of their own. But I guess there could be a possibility that because they are still relatively new to one another, they can't exactly function as a team that well. Instead, it's kind of like a 3 and a 1 because Zamaro is the one that is from Snowmire. So it's probably going to take some time for them to kind of gel together. Yeah, like Team Ace, right?
Like they're definitely top players, right? Like that's not an issue. They have the skill set, but this is a game where you need to play together.
Yes.
You got to talk it through. You got to have that coordination. And I mean, this is Phoenix Force. Like these guys have been around for a while. They've been sticking together. They've been kind of like they have that synergy. They are like on the same page almost throughout the entire day.
And they are just happy with what they have. Look at them relaxing. We've got the cruise. We've got Dick Long, and it's just like. I have no idea what it's supposed to mean, but
I
it's more
think he's
like
pointing at his earwax. I'm not entirely sure, but he's definitely enjoying a X-Cot. Put on your mask, sir. There you go.
He actually did it in the right time, buddy. At the right time. But don't worry. You drank water, we got you covered.
But you know that I don't even know if he's drinking Cristal at this point, because I mean, I'm pretty sure they're in a great position right now. So happy. He's pretending to be cold, but he will buy 300 jackets after today.
Oh. 300 jackets?
I don't know.
You're kind of underestimating it.
Okay, maybe.
300,000 jackets sounds about right.
I mean, I don't know how cold it gets in Thailand, but I don't think you need that many jackets, all right?
I mean, whatever it is, you just gotta spend, because the way that they are right now, they are the biggest favorite winners.
Yes.
But let's not rule everyone else out yet.
Okay.
Because I want to see that fantasy story. I want to.
First place is going to be very difficult. Let's put them on a pedestal and not talk about them anymore, because we've been talking about Phoenix Force throughout, because when you get 3 Booyahs, it's very difficult to talk about other teams, right? But here's the thing. Second place is still up in the air. Silence is definitely in the top right now, but they are vulnerable. They don't have as much of a lead as Phoenix Force does. So the rest of the positions are still in play.
Well, this is the game then. This is the game that we find out who is going to be on the second place, third place, fourth place, and literally all the other placings down below. Because we have focused so much on to Phoenix Force that we just tunnel vision, and we didn't really quite pay that much attention onto everywhere else. Because from second place all the way to fourth place, they can be shuffled. They can be changed all the way. And all the way from 5th place all the way to, I think, to 9th place, they're also relatively close. So this one game can potentially change how much they bring home.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the best part about this, right?
Yep.
Is like, everybody's still in play. No, like, you know what I mean? Like, even the 12th place team is going to get money, right?
Yes.
So they can actually springboard up. So they still have an opportunity. We need to not forget about these teams. That there's still plenty to play for. Everybody needs to be aggressive. Make sure you get those points because you really need it. This is the last game, game 6.
Can you imagine just that one kill can give you more than $10,000? In the very event.
Okay, all right. Who do I need to kill for 10,000? I mean, in game. In game. I didn't want to pick that anyone.
That was great.
I'm not a hitman or anything like that. I just want to be very clear.
You're kind of dressed for the pod.
Well, there are times that I shave my head, and some people think, I'm a hitman 46.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, whatever it is, I'll take it. I'll message you after a little bit.
All right. Well, you let me know who you need to talk to or persuade.
I suppose it's more about the persuasion. But anyways, we were talking about, at least I was talking about Silence. They are number 4. But who were you talking about again?
All right, so I talked about the Brazilian teams. Okay, for the record, there were killing 20 plus people.
Yes.
Like a match.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not like it's because the Phoenix Force have been just on this unstoppable machine.
Yep.
But both Flexo and Loud have been very consistent. I think we've seen them in top 5, top 6 almost the entire day, except for game 1, I think.
Yep.
But they've been trying to put themselves into position to at least be in the top 3. I think they still have potential for that, and I love their aggression, their never say die attitude, and they continue to fight.
I do have a small little power ranking that I made before the tournament started, and this is my power ranking of the first 4.
Silence, Loud, Evos, Divine, and Fluxo. Okay.
I was close-ish.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, again, I think I had Fluxo at 1. I had Silence at 2. Evos Divine, I also thought there was 3. And to be honest...
Evos Divine, though.
What happened? They're not so divine, huh?
They're not that divine after all.
Yeah.
I mean, the Indonesian teams, such as First Raiders and Evos Divine, they are a league of their own.
Yes.
But when it comes to the international stage, it kind of seems as though they are in a culture shock. They don't really know how to deal with the adversaries, and they're just kind of shrimpy.
Yeah. Well, Shrimpy's an interesting one. But, okay, in the leagues that are happening, you have a lot of familiarity, right? You play these teams a lot, so you kind of understand how teams play.
How to counter against them.
How to counter them, right? You get used to that, right? Then you can kind of predict what they're going to do. In this type of tournament where you have had no play, you just play 6 straight-up matches, you need to adjust quickly. And it's just proving that, hey, the top 5 teams, these are the top 5 teams because they've been able to adjust, and they've been able to win out because of that.
Yeah, so I just don't really know how to say anything anymore here. Because I've been hyping up Indonesia.
Yeah.
They are a team, they are a region that really knows their stuff. We've been hyping on the Brazilian side. And yes, indeed, they know their stuff. They have been working all the way through. They are now 2nd and 3rd. And we're also talking about the Russian side, right? When it comes to Silence, they have Sbornaya. And not just them, they also have Singularity that have half of Sbornaya in there. But for some reason, Singularity just did not pop off at all. And
it was the gelling that you talked about earlier. Right? Because if you're taking in subs, it's difficult, right? To kind of play.
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate. I thought that, because of this hybrid, it should make them even more of a monster than they actually were. So, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually had the full roster. Things would be so much more different. Maybe because of communication problem, or maybe just because a little bit of the muscle memory problem, whereby I usually go to right, but then this team tells me to go to left, but I still went to right anyways, this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even going in, like who's throwing the grenades, who's taking the shots, who's the sniper, who's covering me, all of these things in terms of the flanks, right? Like who's putting up the walls, the glue, like so. There's a lot of things that need to be coordinated.
Yes.
It's very difficult, especially since like coming in, you probably had about 2 weeks or so to practice, and to have that high level play where you can consistently practice so that you're prepared for something like this. And this is why I love teams that are going in. They've had that stable roster and they're really shining here.
And that team happens to be, well, Phoenix Force. Dun 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 dun. But it so happened to be Evil's Divine as well, which didn't quite go much anywhere.
I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah, I
think,
don't want to butcher them too much.
Yeah.
But it's the very fact that I look up to them so much, but they're just not exceeding my expectations that makes me a little bit disappointed here.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed too, but hopefully they'll do better in Game 6 right now.
Here we go! The last and the final game of the Free Fire World Series Singapore 2021 started with a bang of the guns because Fluxo have jumped right next to VIP Esports. And Fluxo, are you really going to take this fight or not?
Yeah, they're going hand-to-hand combat. They're like, okay, we'll take this. Shadow's by himself from VIP, that is. They're completely isolated. They don't really have any room. So it looks like Shadow is looking at his trade. He gets the knock onto Nobru there. He did have an SMG. So it looks like he does have a slight advantage. This could be disaster for Fluxo. Okay, he gets the pick up here.
Okay, that's not so bad as I thought anymore. Shadow has been knocked down. He did not press the attack, which he very much should, to be honest. Well, Tarek, he pressed the attack onto the side of FAC, so he's got that working down. The thing is, Fluxo, they still have got themselves the kill. They managed to one-up the opponents while Roro immediately get a knockdown on the Nobru right in front of his face, just pushing all of that lead right into the opponent's eyes. And Fluxo! No!
That's a donut, my friend.
That's a donut.
That's a disaster. And Fluxo had a chance, but they thought they had an advantage against VIP. They got super aggressive and they paid with their lives.
This has got to be the harshest slap in the face for Fluxo. And now Silence have the chance to catch up to Fluxo because this is a big fat 0.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point. That was just a disaster in terms of how they turned that out. VIP Esports with a really nice outplay on that one. Just dominating Fluxo on that one.
Yeah, I mean, this is still very early into the game. It is just 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. The circle has yet to be popped. But one thing's for sure is that we have 3 teams right in the center of the map, right onto Brasilia, and that is going to be Goddess. We're looking at Team Ace as well as Loud. And while we're talking about Team Goddess, we're also going to be looking at Bruce, just rocking in the teddy bear costume, a little bit of fluffy, a little bit of chubby, and just going to be heading himself into the safest place that he can possibly be, and that is right next to Roro.
Yeah, look at Loud though. Is pincered in between Goddess and what was the other team there?
I believe that is Team Ace.
Oh, Team Ace, excuse me. Yeah, so he's right in between, like, Loud are really spread around. They're in a decent number of buildings. Okay, now you see the vehicle by Cohen. He's going to just drive through. I don't think he's got a license, but he's going to run into 3 players. What a bad spot.
This is an aggression that I did not expect coming from Loud, as K1 as well as Will. They are just going to be going in, guns blazing. There is a Vector Akimbo on the side of Will, but is this really what they wanted though? That is a really good instant shot down coming from Will. He gets the drop, he gets the execute as well. We do have the time turner that's going to be popped down coming in from the side of Bruce as well as Will's side, but Bruce were doing whatever that he can to completely juke out against Will. His HP has gone down to 70%, but he's still pressing on to the attack as most of the members coming in from Team Goddess gets completely wiped down just by a single member here. Will did all that he can with the Vector Akimbo that is double wielding, and he himself is the Grim Reaper.
That essentially looked like a really bad fight, but Will was able to clutch that one out, make sure that nobody died, make sure that you get as many kills as you can, get yourself in this one, continue to fight. You got those 4 kills, let's find the next set of kills.
And now it is. We're looking at BTS. They are also getting themselves closer and closer to the side of the riverbank whereby the first raiders are at. But are they really going to be shooting this one out though? Darko is, well, just doing whatever he can. Just gotta move it all around, right? But you know what? It's okay because wherever that they are, they should be fine. Geek is just up north side.
All right, I saw HQ Esports doing the same strategy, hiding in the river. It's like that centralized location. They seem to really, really like this here.
Oh.
Now, mind you, Phoenix Force are very close by. Oh, Loud and Ace are in a firefight.
I don't think that they are gonna go all the way out though. Or not, never mind, because Loud, they are very confident here. They really want to go for this game with a loud bang. Maybe because of the fact that Fluxo is already out, Loud knows that, you know, this is our time to shine. We, as a Brazilian team that is alive here and now, we have to overtake Fluxo. So they've got confidence all the way up in their heads. They want to do whatever that they can in order to get themselves the second place.
एक दूसरे के सामने आ चुकी है कमांड मतलब कैंप साइट पे लेट्स सी कैंप साइट पे क्या कैंपिंग होगी या फिर फ्लेम जलाई जाएगी एक दूसरे के ऊपर अब
जी बिल्कुल देखने वाली बात है कि यहाँ पर
With a nice knock there. I mean, they've been just very, very aggressive.
BTS Dark over on the other side. Oh, the grenade! Oh, no! Coming from I Am Souza. Definitely not the kind of grenade that they were looking out for. But you know what? It is going to be a 3 versus 3 fight down by the containers as Ombak has already been eliminated. Geek Fam, they would want to go for something for themselves. They definitely want to get more kills because they are relatively close to whoever is going to be on top of them. So kills after kills is definitely going to be the best thing. But the longer that they stay here, it is going to be tough because we've got BTS that's slowly making their way closer as well.
All right, VIP Esports right now are on a firefight with Phoenix right now. So that's another one. And Ace as well. There's just action throughout the map. Will, though, turning it up, man. Quadra kill for him. My gosh, that guy's on fire.
Loud. They're not pulling any punches here. They're just hiding themselves up inside of Brasilia. They do have the upper hand because Ace, they are outside the circle.
All right, so Geek Fam here, First Raiders are so close with BTS. 3 teams. Geek Fam don't want any of this, and they're hiding that cubicle, and they're not doing anything. They don't really want any part of this action. But First Raiders right now, BTS, they're looking to go. The shield is on up. Dark, he's trying to step in, get some shots on Shin with a nice shot. He knocks him down, at least for now.
A little bit confusing as Darko, the last member from the side of First Raiders, eliminated at number 10. This is not what we were looking for. BTS holding their own, doing what they can, but Geek Fam, they just let their opponents do the dirty deed for them, and now they come in to sweep up and try to go for the stragglers here. Condemn is the last one, not the last one remaining, but he was stuck inside of the containers due to the sheer amount of glue walls that has been erected all around this vicinity. Hazik finds himself in front of this crosshair of this double barrel shotgun, while Bill is also not going to be stopping anytime soon. A piece all the way on the top of this containers, suffering a little bit of damage, suffering from the storm as well. Bill, Condemn, Dark, they have definitely got Geek Fam with their back against the wall, doing whatever that they can to ensure that Geek Fam dies right here, right now.
Yeah, and they're going to try to do it. They do have the numbers, but he tries to jump down. That was unfortunate. He gets knocked there up. He's super aggressive. Zach with a nice little return knock, at least for now. They're looking to trade this. Zach and Bio get another knock. He's going to heal himself. Zach is doing the outplay. He's been caged in a corner, and he'll just take these free kills.
That was an outstanding outplay from the side of Geek Fam. Now it's gonna be left with Dark versus Zach. A 1 versus 1 scenario here outside of the storm. Both of them, they kind of know that, you know, it's either you or me, buddy. It's either you or me. So I would either probably want to run away here because there really is no point in me going for this 1 point as compared to trying to go for the going for the placement points.
Like, it's so crazy because if you get up like a placement or two, it's literally 10K more. Right? So you're surviving right now is the most important thing because you need all the points that you can get. You don't even have to be faster than the bear, so to speak. You just need to be faster than that guy.
And now, Phoenix Force, though, they kind of know that they are pretty nice up in the eagle's nest. They don't really need to do anything. They just have to oversee the operations that's happening down under the ground and just be like, yup, I'm moving you like puppet strings. I don't need to do anything. But you know what? Despite how holed up themselves, they are in their eagle's nest, they are still pretty nicely inside of the next circle.
Yeah, they're in prime position. It seems so weird because I thought VIP were going to do some sort of contesting, but they were letting them go, just completely giving respect to Phoenix Force, and they walked away pretty much unscathed with just Rambo dead.
With a lot of people at the western part of the island, one thing's for sure is that HQ Esports, they are not going to be participating in any of those fights just yet. Despite how close they are to the center of the map, they don't want to kill. EVOS Divine, though, they can get in the way of HQ, and HQ will then be forced to fight. Loud, they have been aggressive and they have been monsters. They will see and shoot to kill. They are hungry. They will do whatever it takes in order to get themselves to the second place and, you know, maybe even to the first place if they can.
Yeah, they're trying their best, but I mean, Loud definitely need to make their way into the circle here. HQ Esports, they did this the last time we played Purgatory. They stayed in the river and they I bet you they're just hiding right now behind cover more than anything else.
Yep, Phoenix Force did the same thing here. They are still staying right by the riverbank, and this HQ and Phoenix Force, they have the same idea. Mm-hmm. They want to do whatever that they did in the previous game because don't fix what's not broken, right?
It might be broken, I think, because you need kills, right?
Broken as in OP.
Like, they are the most passive team we've seen today, right? They've got 2 booyahs, yes. But the thing is that they don't really go for kills at all. I think their kills is less than 10.
I think so, actually. I think so. Understanding from the fact that HQ Esports, they have been like the dark horse since the start of the tournament. Even before the play-ins, like I did not see where they came from, but yet they have gotten themselves with that 2 booyahs, and that is enough to impress me.
Okay. Easily impressed, I see.
You know, booyahs is pretty impressive to me.
All right, fine. I mean, you got 2, so that, I mean, the first time is luck, the second time is definitely skill, right? There's usually like that. But nonetheless, they haven't really gotten the kills. They haven't really been pushing. So, I mean, yeah, you're getting the booyahs, but
all about the strategy.
Yeah, you gotta get some points somehow, and if that's the way to do it, then that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if they are not confident with the way that they have been constantly, like, you know, taking fights, then the best way that you can get points for yourself is, well, not take fights. Mm-hmm. Just survive all the way through and just let other people do the dirty job, which is exactly what the HQ Esports is doing. They know their abilities and they don't want to overestimate themselves.
Yeah, they're getting shot here, so at least teams know where they are. Phoenix Force, on the other hand, you know, they've been playing possum throughout as well. So both of these teams just sticking around, they just want to survive, let the circle come to them. I mean, considering Phoenix Force is right in the middle and Geek Fam just gets eliminated there.
Loud, though, they are going to be in the crosshairs of EVOS, and they are all the way outside the circle. But luckily, though, for Will, he is going to be inside the circle, and he managed to escape from the tigery grasp of EVOS Divine, because there is absolutely no way that they, or rather Will, should take on this fight against the rest of the EVOS Divine. Just stay at the nicest place, stay as safe as possible, and allow EVOS Divine to wipe out everyone else away from this map. HQ Esports, they were holding by the riverside. They were trying to play passively, but this time, the game is not gonna give them this very match because EVOS is swiping them from the east, and we've got Phoenix Force swiping them from the west.
No chance. Nothing left. 13 players, 5 teams left. Not a whole lot. Loud is like down to their last player. HQ Esports hanging on a thread with Tyson as well. Not really much going on. But Silence, Evos, they're full rosters here. They're definitely in a great position here. But Phoenix Force, again, they have not moved here. Oh, nice grenade launcher. They found him and they end up getting the kill. Dake Long does go down. Finally, he was in that perch or that high tower for quite some time.
And of course, the Wizard Tower did not do much for him. Team Silence, they have found themselves in a really bad spot now because Phoenix Force, they are definitely going to be pushing down a lot more of these lands onto the side of Silence. Zamaro, he was knocked down, but instantaneously being brought back up. The amount of firepower and damage that the crews, as well as Joanna, managed to push the Silence all the way away. Even though this is a 2-man squad, this duo has now deterred against Silence, and I'm pretty sure the Silence want to have nothing to do with Phoenix Force.
Yeah, they want nothing to do with him. And Phoenix Force are just like, all right, I mean, it's more power to us. Make sure that we stay alive. I mean, if the other teams are gonna eliminate themselves, then they're gonna be the last one. So it's even more points for them. They're happy with the situation.
HQ Esports, Tyson is the last man remaining. He's still hiding in this big little tower. But MRO5, he definitely knows someone is in here. We are tossing grenades after grenades after grenades. 4 members of EVOS, they're doing whatever that they can to completely eliminate this last member from HQ. And just like that, MRO5, he managed to Kobe his way onto Tyson. And Tyson, well, he's not going to be bringing his team over to the podium finish in this very game itself, unfortunately.
All right, Silence sticking around. Evos Divine is still doing very well. Phoenix Force just hanging on by a thread with Loud as well, who's all the way in the end. He doesn't want to take any sort of damage right now, but he's just looking for the other teams to just kill themselves so he can just clean up.
4 kills. 4 kills for Silence, right? They're doing what they can. 4 men still alive. Loud with 1 man alive, and that is only Will. Phoenix Force, 2 men alive. This is going to be a 4v4 between Silence and EVOS. In the very event that either one of these teams, they lost just 1 member, it is going to be that big of a deal. And Silence, if you ask me, I do like and love where they are at. They are in the prime position to just sit back and relax.
Oh my gosh, but Silence there with some 2 knocks. Oh, gets the kill on Mr. 05. That was going to be it. That's going to be the kill leader with just 2, though. But Zarmo, he's got 3. He's got the grenade launcher as well. He's looking for somebody, but with 3 teams left, how are they going to end this one in this circle here?
And Street currently being knocked down. This pretty much means that EVOS Divine is only left with 2 members, while Loud, they are completely eliminated. And here we go. Street eliminated for sure. 2v2, v4. We've got Silence. They are in the best position at this point in time. But the circle, it is still favoring over to the side of Phoenix Force. It will be unheard of if Phoenix Force as a duo will be able to bring down this 4 member of this Silence lineup, because that will be intense. And that is where I will grovel and just say that, you know, Phoenix Force, no matter who they are, how many people there is left, they are still the ultimate winners.
Oh, but that circle is coming, and yeah, he's getting some shots, but they've got 4 people up. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them because they can just pick each other back up. But Evos is on the back end. They got to pick him up as well, so it's going to be 2-2-4. Let's see how this one plays out.
The storm is shrinking. The storm is surely shrinking all the way down onto where Phoenix Force is at. While EVOS now has been eliminated, and of course, we've got Phoenix Force. They went all the way through the grenade launcher. Enough to bring all 4 members down from Silence. And Phoenix Force gets themselves with a total of 4. Booyah!
now, it's time to announce the champions of Free Fire World Series 2021. The world champions are Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force, ladies and gentlemen! Round of applause! Comments below online! What a brilliant victory! And now to announce the MVP, The Cruise. Congratulations! We have come to the end of the Free Fire World Series 2021 Singapore. Once again, congratulations Phoenix Force on their undeniable and brilliant victory, securing the place to be called World Champions. Great games by all the teams. It was a valiant fight by all 12 of them, and their commitment to be the best is what made today such an amazing World Series. We would also like to thank our fans and viewers from all over the world. The World Series was hosted with you in mind, so we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. With that, I'm Victoria Chang, and see you all at the next Free Fire World Series. Until then, and good night. Congratulations.
And pay attention, only the best can win. And I got a vision, I'm gonna be everything you said I couldn't be. I'm gonna leave my footprint, P.S. I know you see. I do believe that some things might be destiny. I do believe that I'm gonna give the best of me. I know you can't see, but I'll be on top. Team name tag on every spot.
I'm going in, all in, everything on the line. Everyone wants to shine, I'm going in. Got my crew right behind, and we would die for the win. One time we gon' level up, 2 times we ain't gonna stop, 3 times like a loaded and we're ready to hunt. It's all said and done, you better run.